This is the Locker Room Show on K105. A pregame look at tonight's Grayson County Cougar football game. Get inside the game with offensive and defensive breakdowns from each team, injury reports, coaches' comments, and more. The Locker Room Show is brought to you in part by Dan Powers GM Center, Future Designs, Midway Pharmacy, and Farm Bureau Insurance. Now the Locker Room Show on K105.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome in to K105's coverage of Grayson County Cougar football here tonight as the Cougars enter district play, taking on the Barren County Trojans. We are in Glasgow for this affair here tonight. In fact, after tonight's game, the Cougars will finish the season 4 out of the next 5. Tom Vincent, Sean Longston back with you as our Locker Room Show continues here from Glasgow tonight as the Cougars take on the Barren County Trojans. District opener for both clubs here this evening. The Cougars, of course, on a roll heading into tonight's game with a mark of 4-0. Barren County is 1-3. And, Sean, we have seen a very impressive and confident Cougar football team the last couple of years, but really out of the gate this year, probably as confident as we have seen them, and just an overall great flow to the team, not only offensively, as they've been able to throw the ball and run the ball when they want to, but defensively, of course, as well. They've not yielded a point yet on defense.
Yeah, they really haven't, Tom. And, last week we really built it up a lot about trying to go for those 4 consecutive games, having a shutout. Of course, we were able to give up 2 points there of safety. But still, as you said, the defense has been solid all year. And if you go back to the first game of the season, we talked with Coach Smart, and one of the question marks hanging over this ball club in his regard was the defense. He said, Tom, if you remember, that he had spent so much time in the absence of Coach Seabolt leaving to Bowling Green working with the offense that he really felt the defense may not have been getting the attention that they deserve, but rightfully so. The defense, as you said, they're one of the top defenses, or I guess I could say maybe even the top defense in the state right now, having only allowed 2 points, I guess you could say, even though it wasn't really the defense that allowed those points. But we've only allowed 2 points all season. And one stat that really jumps out at me is just, looking at it a little bit deeper is our secondary. A lot of question marks with the absence of Aaron Davini graduating last year, but we've got 10 interceptions on a defense. So if you're a quarterback that likes to throw the football, you better be very cautious against our secondary.
And they've not all just been gimme interceptions. If you've not been to all the games, especially the Muhlenberg County game, there was some acrobatic grabs by the Cougar secondary and linebackers in that football game to get those interceptions. So it should be an interesting game. But, we talking with Coach Smart last week, as happy as he was about the performance of the first 4 games, Sean, he was really set and a little bit nervous going into this week, because anytime you open up district play, these are teams you see each and every season, and this is when it really counts, because you win a couple games in district, more than likely you'll end up hosting a playoff game down the road.
There's no question how important this game is tonight. Of course, we've seen in the last few years how some of those games outside of the district can even be huge as well if it comes to a tie-breaking situation. But tonight's the night. I've talked to a lot of people outside, among the program, outside the program, and they've been pretty ecstatic with the way the Grayson County played so far this season, putting up such big numbers. But the question mark is going to be tonight, and I've heard that from a number of people. How are they going to contend against district competition? Well, we'll find out soon enough.
Locker Room show rolls on from Glasgow, and momentarily we're about 22 minutes away from kickoff as the undefeated Grayson County Cougars visit the Barren County Trojans on the home of Cougar football, K105. Tom Vincent, Sean Longston back with you from Glasgow this evening as the Cougars open up district play, taking on the Barren County Trojans in Glasgow. And you could not ask for a much more of a polar opposite in weather conditions than we had a week ago down at Todd County Central. It is a beautiful night with not a cloud in the sky. The sun has started to set here in Glasgow, and we have perfect football field conditions here tonight, as there has not been any rain all throughout the week. So should not be any problem with the footing that we saw at times last week with the constant drizzle down in Elkton. Well, the Cougars with that mark of 4-0, and Sean, this program, you talk about it where it's come in the last couple of years, getting ranked in the AP top 10 for a second consecutive year. They were in there last year, a season ago, I believe, reaching as high as number 7 this week. They are in there at number 9, and it is a recognition for a team that's not only winning, but they're winning impressively so far this year.
Yeah, they really are, Tom, and it is such an impressive note there to be ranked in the state. among the top 10. So that's quite an accomplishment right there. But, of course, those type of accomplishments, they mean a little bit for a little bit of locker room talk. But then again, as we talked to Coach Smart a little bit last week, he kind of shed some light on that too. I just kind of think about that shutout there for 4 consecutive games when I start thinking about those records this early in the season. And the reason I say that is because Coach Smart, he was very, I guess you could say adamant that record would have been something important, but he didn't make any type of drastic changes to try to shield that off. So if you asked him probably the same thing, Tom, he'd say, yeah, that's great, fine and dandy, but that's not going to secure us a playoff spot. It's going to start tonight with this game here against Barren County.
Well, we talked about the defensive accolades a moment ago, but this offense has really looked a lot more dynamic this year, and we wondered about that when you lose a playmaker like Aaron Davini. And the year before, they lost the fullback Bradley Harrison. We thought that they might suffer a little bit of drop-off. But Davini had a fine season a year ago, and then you wonder this year, how are they going to do things? Well, they've opened up the offense just a little bit, Sean. The fact that they're throwing the ball with a lot more regularity in situations where the game is still in line. Hunter Gary on the season has already thrown for 6 touchdown passes and 18 of 34 total for 366 yards, and you can just see a comfort level when he's back there this year throwing the football and a comfort in the pocket. Guys are coming out blitzing him. He's stepping up and making plays.
He really is, and there's no question that he takes charge when he's out on the football field. And Coach Smart, he's so fortunate to be able to have him there on the field because he calls a lot of those plays we've seen last week. We've seen him go to a number of audibles. And Hunter had a big game. He completed 4 passes last week for 77 yards and, a couple of those big plays by Jacob Pierce. So Pierce, one of those players that you just kind of alluded to that's kind of stepped up and really filled some of those gaps there from the absence of some graduating seniors last year because we've seen Aaron Davini make a lot of big catches last year. Well, you couldn't ask for a better receiver last week with Jacob Pierce with actually 3 catches, 150 yards.
And from a defensive standpoint, when you're an opponent looking at Grayson County, what kind of difference does it make when you look at a team that before was just pretty much 95 to 97% running? Well, now they're throwing these passes and wrinkling. How much more difficult does that make it for defense?
Oh, it's huge, Tom, because, we've seen so many times in the years past with Grayson County where the passing game was really absent. And as a result of that, what happened is the defense, they would blitz about every play. They'd walk all 11 guys up in the box pretty tight, maybe have one guy as a free safety back there just in case something were to break. But we're not seeing that now. With Hunter's presence back there, with being able to throw the football, the defense secondary is really having to respect his arm, and as a result, it's opening up some huge gaps for the running game, which is creating so much success among the running backs.
And, it's been interesting from a receiving standpoint, too. We've seen a number of different guys step up in different games. Last week it was Jacob Pierce. In week 2 it was Desmond Goldsberry. Dylan Douthit had a big game in week 1. So each and every week these receivers are getting things done, and it just spreads the wealth even more and makes it harder for defenses to be able to key in on one particular receiver.
No, it really does. And, another name you just kind of left out there was Sean Tuttle, who's got almost 100 yards in receiving. So it makes a huge difference, Tom, when you're able to kind of spread that wealth out, so to speak. And that's one of the things the coaching staff of the Cougars does such a great job with is they try to get a lot of players involved because, as you was talking about earlier about breaking down film, it's got to be one of those situations where the coaching staff for Barren County is just kind of pulling hair, just trying to figure out who to key on, because you really can't focus on one player with this Grayson County team. You've got to kind of, as a coaching staff, you've got to take the standpoint of, from a defense, let's play our responsibility and play our position and not worry about an individual. Where years in the past when maybe you have 1, 2 key skilled players, as a result of that, you could take all 11 guys on the field and say, hey, know where number 44 is or know where number 86 is, and then key on those particular guys. You can't do that with this program. You got to know your assignment defensively, stick with that, and then hope to goodness that Grayson County don't make a big play on you.
We'll see if the Cougars can break some of those big plays here tonight. We are under 15 minutes away from kickoff as the Cougars visit the Barren County Trojans tonight on the home of Grayson County Cougar football, K105.
The best mix for the Twin Lakes. Thanks for listening to K105.
About 12 minutes away from kickoff here on K105 as the Grayson County Cougars take on the Barren County Trojans tonight down in Glasgow. Tom Vincent and Sean Logston along. Well, I mentioned earlier the Cougars' record of 4-0 heading into tonight's ball game. The Trojans are 1-3. They dropped a 35, or actually they won their first game of the season 35-0, I should say, over Metcalfe County, and then dropped decisions to Bullitt Central, Glasgow, and Monroe County. So they have a record of 1-3, 3 consecutive losses, and they are coached by Jason Esters in his first season here at Barren County. And I was talking to a couple of the Barren County folks earlier in the week about the situation down here. And, you know, a lot of fans a little bit disgruntled about how things have gone on with their football program. They've had just one winning season in the last 15 years, but in the last 10 years they've had 6 different head coaches. So that they were thinking that was part of the problem, not a lot of continuity in this program. And that's something that Grayson County enjoys, Sean, because this is Coach Ed Smart's 7th year, and they were rocky to begin with. Didn't win a game his first season, but you can really see that once his program has been implemented over the last couple of years, the success has followed.
Yeah, I'm a true believer. It really takes about 4 years in order to really build a program as a head coach, and the reason I say that is, you know, you take that freshman class, they buy into what you're trying to coach and teach those players as they get to the senior class and graduate. Then you've got a true picture of how the program has developed as a head coach. There's no question, you know, a lot of these programs, such as Barren County, 6 coaches in the last, what I think you said, 10 years. You know, it's so difficult to really start trying to build a tradition back and get confidence in your players, because that's the key. As a former player, just, you know, it's hard to really respect a coach if you don't know he's going to be there next year. It's particularly in the off season. So when you know that a coach is going to be around, you buy into and believe what he preaches and what he coaches and what his philosophy is, then that's how you build a program. And that's why we've been so fortunate, you know, Coach Smart being here. You know, it's hard to believe he's been here that long. It really is. It just seems like yesterday he stepped into that position as the head coach, but he's really done something special with these Cougar players, undoubtedly. And I look forward to seeing tonight how they come out and play once again.
Cougars 4-0. We're under 10 minutes away from kickoff. We'll take a timeout and come back with more of our locker room show coverage, Grayson County and Barren County, on the home of Cougar football, K105. Kickoff about 7 minutes away from Grayson County and Barren County doing battle down here in Glasgow. Of course, the Cougars have won the previous 2 meetings with these 2 schools, dating back to last year and the previous year down here in Glasgow. The Cougars, of course, will finish up district play later on this season with a home game against Bowling Green, and they will head down to Warren Central. And that Warren Central game is the only other road game the Cougars will have for the rest of the season. 4 of their final 5 games will be from the friendly confines of Cougar Stadium as we roll on here with the locker room show. Sean, you have the situation, Sean, where you have been in conference openers at the college level, and you've been in district openers at the high school level, and there's got to be some extra added intensity, I know, when you go into these type of games.
There is, Tom. You know, it's one of those things, it's almost like the first game of the season all over again, because, you know, you go back to the first game of the season, we spent some time talking about how the teams, particularly the Cougars, are just kind of tired of hitting one another in practice, and it's good to get out there and see a new team, a new face, a different color jersey. It's the same type of feeling when you go into conference, because, you know, the coaching staff, they really build it up, and I'm sure they spend a lot of time in the locker room harping to the players about, hey, guys, you know, we've got 4 games under our belt, but this is where it starts tonight. This is where they start keeping track. This is where they start tallying whether we're going to have a spot in the playoffs. So there's no question there's a whole different level of an intensity and a whole different level of importance in this game right here. But any coach will tell you, you know, they treat every game the same. But there's no question that when you're in that district, or if it's a conference play or what have you, that you've got to step it up a notch in order to compete. And that's what the Grayson County team is going to have to do tonight.
And I don't know if this says anything about the confidence level of Barren County heading into this game, but it is homecoming here at Barren County High School here tonight as they take on the Cougars. That does it for our locker room show. We are under 5 minutes before kickoff as the Grayson County Cougars take on the Barren County Trojans on the home of Cougar football, K105.
It's time for Grayson County Cougar football. Brought to you in part by Future Designs, Midway Pharmacy, Auto Smart, and Carter Harrell State Farm. The players are ready to kick it off. Let's head to the field for Cougar football on K105.
Good evening and welcome to the play-by-play portion of our broadcast here tonight as the Grayson County Cougars take on the Barren County Trojans down in Glasgow. District opener for both clubs. The Cougars with a mark of 4-0 heading into tonight's game. Barren County is 1-3. The Trojans won the opening toss but elected to defer until the second half, and so the Cougars will receive the opening possession of tonight's football game, and they'll move left to right on your radio dial. They are out on the field now wearing their home white jerseys, road white jerseys, I should say, with blue numerals trimmed in orange with blue pants and, of course, the blue helmets. Barren County has elected to go to an all-black jersey and pant alignment with their uniforms with maroon numerals trimmed in yellow. And so homecoming here tonight for the Barren County Trojans. The Cougars trying to wreck a homecoming. They have done so in a couple of different stadiums the last couple of years, wrecked the other opposing team's homecoming. They'll try to do it here tonight. Both teams are out on the field. They're still showing a little bit of time on the clock, and it's going to be Jacob Pierce back deep along with Ethan Henson to receive the kickoff for Grayson County. Barren County has the ball spotted, and they are getting ready to kick it off with Taylor Alston. As they have got the clock down to 0, we are ready for football in Glasgow as the Grayson County Cougars look for a 5-0 start and try to get the district play in 2010 off to a great start as well. Kickoff is a good one. Going to be fielded by Henson at the 10-yard line. 15, 20. Cuts it to the middle, 25, and is spun down at about the 28-yard line. So good return on that one for Ethan Henson. Our starting lineups tonight are brought to you by Vision First in Litchfield. And on offense, the Cougars will have Hunter Gary at quarterback as normal. The split backs will be Jacob Pierce and Sean Tuttle. Cody Bertram lines up in the starting fullback position. Split ends, Desmond Goldsberry and Dylan Douthit. Gavin Albee, Morgan Decker, Michael Wood, Cody Yeager, and Logan Nichols make up the Cougar offensive line. And back to throw on the first pass to Douthit in the flat is Hunter Gary, and Douthit caught the football, then fumbled it, and I believe he was able to get back on the football at about the 32-yard line. Douthit did recover it, and they're going to spot it at the 33-yard line, so it's a pickup of 6 on the first play from scrimmage here tonight.
And that was actually a good play there by Zach Fawcett. He did a good job of kind of keeping containment there on Dylan Douthit. Douthit tried to make a nice little sidestep move from him. As a result, number 59 there for Barren County got a hand in there and kind of pried the ball loose. Douthit was able to get back on top of it.
Second down and about 4 yards to go. Gary under center with Tuttle in motion. The give straight up the middle to Bertram. He's met right at the line of scrimmage and brought down there as Cody did a nice job covering up the football with both hands and is able to hold on to the football. It'll be third down and about 4 yards for the Cougars as we look at a view from the sidelines. Is brought to you by Ernie Perkins for PVA, and our view just tells us about the weather tonight. Absolutely fabulous. Game time temperature around 80 degrees with no humidity, no clouds in the sky. A stark contrast to what we saw last week. Again, our view from the sidelines brought to you by Ernie Perkins for PVA. Third down and 4 yards to go. Hunter Gary up under center. In motion comes Pierce to the near side, and taking the snap, rolling out to the right side is Hunter Gary, looking for Pierce, has him across the 40-yard line. No, they're going to say he bobbled it, falling out of bounds. So on their first offensive drive here tonight, the Cougars will go 3 and out.
You know, one of the best defensive stands we've seen against this Cougar offense all season, Tom. You can think back a couple games where Grayson County was not even forced to punt throughout the entire game. First drive here, Grayson County, as you said, just went 3 and out. By the time Gary rolled out, Pierce was open there, but Pierce actually kind of drifted a little bit too much to the sideline, didn't allow him enough room to really make that catch. He did come up with the catch, but it was out of bounds.
Hunter Gary goes back and stands at his own 22-yard line to punt this one away. Tyler Hughes, the punt returner for Barren County. And Gary gets off a low line and kick, bounces at the 35-yard line of Barren County, and is going to roll to the 30 where it is downed by the Cougars. So it will be the defensive unit for Grayson County coming out onto the field. They've yet to allow a point all season long in our starting lineups for the defense. Also brought to you by Vision First in Litchfield. On the line, we see Nick Haycraft, Morgan Decker, and Cody Yeager. Linebackers Cody Bertram, Dustin Crane, Dustin Peak, and Shane Goff. The defensive backs Jacob Pierce, Braxton Williams, Ethan Henson, and Hunter Gary. Cougar defensive unit out on the field here. 10 minutes, 13 seconds to go. Opening quarter from Glasgow with Barren County and Grayson County scoreless.
Tom, taking a look at the statistics of this offense for Barren County, they come into this game 488 yards of total rushing compared to our 1,015.
And we have a fumble, but play is going to be blown dead. Grayson County was able to recover it. Dustin Peak got in there, but before the play was underway, we had a false start as the left tackle for Barren County got going a little bit early, and so that's going to back the Trojans up immediately. It'll be first down and 15, Barren County, as they spot the football back at the 25-yard line.
And that's the quarterback's kind of fault right there. Gil Thomas should have kind of noticed that everyone wasn't lined up. But one of the things about that particular play, I think the defense, they seen us that we were really not set, so they tried to rush that play, Tom. As a result, he had a couple of linemen that were not down for Barren County, and they got signaled for a flag offside. So tough break for them, good break for the Cougars to start this one off here defensively.
So first and 15, Barren County. Thomas stands back and gives to his tailback. No gain on the play. Met right at the line of scrimmage. Morgan Decker there, the initial Cougar to make the initial hit, I should say. So no gain on first down, and it will be second down and 15 for Barren County. Boy, Morgan Decker all season long, Sean, has been a just pest on opposing offensive lines.
He really has. He's caused a lot of problems for a number of quarterbacks we've seen all season. And this Barren County team, don't be surprised to see Luke Matthews in their quarterback as well. Both Matthews and Thomas, they rotate a lot of snaps coming into this game. Thomas has 17 completions and 2 touchdowns, while Matthews 11 completions for 1 touchdown.
And this time the run off the right tackle is going to gain yardage out to the 30-yard line. And it's going to, that's back to the original line of scrimmage, so it'll be third down and 10. And actually Luke Matthews, Sean, there's a backup quarterback, he is out for the season. He has a torn MCL, at least the regular season, so won't see him in action here tonight.
News to me there. So that's one good sign there for Grayson County, obviously, because he has put up some very big numbers so far this season.
Third down and 10, Barren County. Shotgun formation this time as Thomas moves back a few feet from his center. And third down and 10. Takes a snap. It's a quarterback keeper and nowhere to run. Morgan Decker and Michael Wood team up for the stop. No gain on the play, and the Cougars force a 3 and out on Barren County's opening drive.
You keep talking about, you mentioned Morgan Decker just a few plays ago. There's Morgan Decker in on that play once again. And, truly, our defensive line has been so solid from the beginning of the season. And that's kind of been, and then
5 to play here in the opening quarter. The punt is away. Fielded by Jared Toms back at the 32-yard line. Has the room right across the 40 and belted down at the 43-yard line. 11-yard punt return for Jared Toms. And with 7:57 to go, opening quarter, Grayson County comes back out on the field on offense.
Tom, and we see Jared Toms last week. He made a lot of great returns to set up the Cougars in good field position, and that was kind of the key in a lot of the games in the past is field position. We've seen that first drive. That was probably the worst field position that we actually had all season. We went 3 and out. Hopefully we can get some better results here with this particular drive, but a good return there nevertheless by Toms.
They actually spot the football. Favorable mark for the Cougars at the 44-yard line. Goldsberry and Douthit on the field as the wide receivers. And Sean Tuttle goes in motion. Hunter Gary the give to Dustin Peak from the fullback slot, and Dustin's able to get a yard out to the 45-yard line and nothing more. The defensive line so far for Barren County is playing a fantastic game in the trenches.
They really are. We haven't really tried to get anything to the outside on the ground yet. We've seen Gary roll out on the pass to the outside. But as you said right there, Barren County defensive line playing very solid. I think right now the coaching staff is just kind of testing them up front to see how solid they really are.
Gary under center once more. Second down and 9. Tuttle in motion to the far side. Gets the pitch running to the outside this time. Cuts it back in and is going to fall forward for about a yard to the 46-yard line. So Barren County making it tough on the Cougars in the early going. And it's a third and long coming up for Grayson County. Make it 8.
Yeah, they're making Coach Smart dig a little deeper in that playbook right now to try to test and see, what's going to work against this Barren County defense. As you said, they're playing very solid. The Trojans are defensively. That time, Tuttle tried to get to the outside. We talked about the difficulty inside the tackles. That time, they did a great job, Barren County, of stretching that play out and keeping containment.
3rd and 8. Cougars with Hunter Gary in shotgun, back to throw with 4 wide receivers. Fires it downfield. Has a man complete at the 30 and falling down to the 29-yard line. It's Ethan Hinson, a Sicilian Bank hometown connection, as Hunter Gary hooks up with Ethan Hinson, and they're going to officially spot the football at the 28-yard line, rather, so it is a pickup of 26 yards.
That's a great way to move the football, Tom. If you're having a little difficulty on the ground right there, they went kind of twins both sides and really stretched out the defense, got receivers down the field. Ethan Hinson made his first catch of the season, and boy, was it ever a big one.
In motion, Tuttle to the far side. Give straight up the middle. I believe actually Hunter faked the give to Peak and kept it himself and gets forward to the 25-yard line. Pickup of 3 yards. And Hunter carrying the football, 240 yards and 4 touchdowns on the season, but the last 2 games he's, I think, carried the ball a total of 3 times. So most of those carries came in the season's first 2 games. He's done a little bit through mostly through the air the last couple of wins for Grayson County. It's 2nd down and 7. And it is Hunter Gary again under center. This time running the option to the outside. Keeps it 20, 15, 10, 5, breaks a tackle, going to the end zone, touchdown from 25 yards out. Hunter Gary barreling through tacklers and getting the GC6.
Hey, Tom, I think you set him up at a perfect time. You talk about the few carries that he actually kept the football, ran with it the last couple games, but that time, what a wise decision by Hunter as he faked the handoff. He's seen a huge opening there for himself, decided and elected to keep the ball himself, and what a job he did getting up the field into the end zone. Great job by the Cougar offense.
Point after try, brought to you by District Judge candidate Darren Sipes. It is Hunter Gary scoring the touchdown, and as always, handling the place-kicking duties as well. The kick is going to actually be blocked and no good. So Barren County with a break there, and so with 5:51 to go opening quarter, it's Grayson County 6, Barren County nothing on the home of Cougar football, K105. Hunter Gary is down to the 7-yard line. Barren County brings it out across the 15, 20, 25, trying to get to the sideline, now cutting it back in across the 30, and finally bringing down. Hunter Gary brings him down at about the 34-yard line. On that return was Zach Kelly.
That was a good return by Kelly. Kelly did a good job there for Barren County, just being patient, Tom. He did a good job of reading his blockers. You always hate to see as a kickoff team your kicker making the tackle. Unfortunately, that's what happened that time. Good return by Barren County, but nevertheless, great job by Hunter getting down the field, being aggressive and making a play.
So 5:42 to go opening quarter. It's Grayson County 6 and Barren County nothing. Trojans back out on the field with their offensive unit this time. Second time their opening drive went 3 plays and out. Thomas under center, tries to give to the tailback, does, and Decker is there for the stop at the 35-yard line. Only a yard pickup for Barren County's Tyler Hughes.
Great job by Morgan Decker, once again making another big play. I've got him tagged down for 3 tackles already. For the season, he's got 16 tackles, 11 solo, and 5 assisted tackles. So great job by Morgan already tonight, starting off good defensively. 3 tackles so far.
Second down and 9 yards to go. I formation backfield behind Gil Thomas, the quarterback for Barren County. Back to throw is Thomas. 5-step drop, looking into the flat for a screen. He's got his man complete at the 40, 45, midfield, and run out of bounds. Ethan Hinson and Dustin Crane over there to make the stop as they're going to give him forward progress.
Good play, nevertheless, by Barren County. Tough break for the Cougars there. That's a good positive pickup by the Trojans.
So Barren County with their second drive of the night in Cougar territory at the 48-yard line now, 1st and 10. Thomas gets Hughes going in motion, rolling out the throw on the right side, has Hughes at the 50, 45, 43-yard line, as it is Shane Goff bringing him down there. And so Barren County with some things going here on their passing game, and they have a 2nd down and 4 upcoming.
Yeah, I was trying to pick up a number. This Barren County team, the black jersey with the yellow number is really difficult to see as it starts to get a little dark on the field. Of course, the lights, they're just not doing a great job at this point of lighting up the football field, but numbers are difficult to see here.
Check it. It was a gain of 4 to 2nd down and 6 as Hughes takes the toss right and is met as he could not get any positive yards. Maybe a yard as Decker and Dustin Crane combined for that stop. And it will bring up a 3rd down and 3 for Barren County.
It's a big play for the Cougar defense right now to step up strong here as Barren County's kind of threatening to move the football down the field. 3rd and 3. We'll see if the defense can stand up strong.
4 minutes to go. Opening quarter from Glasgow. Barren County trailing 6-0, but in Cougar territory here, and could be 4-down territory for the Trojans as the ball is at the Grayson County 42-yard line. 2 backs in the backfield for Thomas. He takes a snap, throws it to his fullback, and he couldn't handle it, and it goes into the backfield and is going to be a huge loss back to the 48-yard line of Barren County. So they're going to lose about 10 yards on this play as Thomas took the snap and threw it back to Furlong, and it was too far in front of Furlong, could not get his hands on it, and it goes for a big loss, and the Cougar defense holds once again.
Yeah, that's a great play there defensive. You know, and one of the things about that play, you know, just as a spectator, a lot of times you look at that, Tom, and think it was a mistake on Barren County, but it's that pressure of the defensive line that's getting up and right in that center's face and quarterback that causes them to try to really speed up the play, and as a result, you know, a poor job by Barren County's offense, but a big break for the Cougars. As you said, a 10-yard loss that time, and once again for Grayson County, it was Morgan Decker right there in the backfield just hovering over top of Furlong.
Penalty marker on the field, and we're going to have a false start against Barren County. So the second time tonight that the Trojans have been whistled for that penalty, backs them up an additional 5 yards, and the ball's now at the 43-yard line of Barren County. So once they got into Grayson County territory, they went nowhere but back, and it's 4th down and forever. And they finally whistle the play in, and we're about to get the punt away. Kick is up, high kick, fair catch called for by Hunter Gary at the 27-yard line of Grayson County. Good job by Hunter that time of settling under the football and making the fair catches. There was no return yards to be had on the high kick. 2:56 to go opening quarter. It's 6-0 Grayson County.
That was a good punt by Barren County because, as you said, it had some distance to it and had a lot of height, which allowed the Gunners time to get down the field. One thing we did as a punt return team there, as I noticed, is we didn't really slow the Gunners down a lot. As a result of that, they were there waiting on Gary, but Gary, wisely enough, decided to fair catch it, played it smart, made a nice catch on the football. Grayson County taking over here on downs.
1st and 10 Cougars, 27-yard line. They take over on this possession. Scored on their last drive, a 25-yard touchdown run by Hunter Gary. Hunter's under center for this drive. 2 wide receivers on the field either side. And Gary running the option to the near side, keeps it 30, 35, breaks loose, 40, 45, 40 of Grayson County, 30, 25, 20, 15, and tripped up inside the 15-yard line. Hunter Gary with another monster run. They're going to mark it at the 11-yard line. It is a gain of 63 yards. 62 yards.
That was an amazing run by Hunter because it looked like he was going to pick up maybe 5-6 yards once he got through the line of scrimmage, but he made a nice break over to the sideline. One thing that I kept watching, though, that I was impressed as much as anything was Jared Toms. He did a great job of just trying to slow down the defender. So many times in that situation, Tom, you'll see somebody try to make a big block or a big play. Tom's wisely enough knew that he was kind of behind the defender, couldn't get a clean block without maybe getting a clipping call and kind of to lay off. Great job by the Cougar offense.
Gary under center, back to throw, and he's going to be hit and dropped, sacked back at the 15-yard line as he had no time to throw that time as streaking the defensive line for Barren County streaked right through and sacked him for a 4-yard loss. As the initial looked like he was going on a slant to Desmond Goldsberry off on the left side, the far side from us, and it was well covered by Barren County, and Hunter could not get rid of the football as quickly as he wanted. So it brings up a 2nd down and 14 for Grayson County at the 15-yard line. They got to reach the 1 for a 1st down. Shotgun formation for Gary. Takes the snap. Back to throw. Now rolls out to the right. Running. Has the option to run. Will. 10. Ducks under and is going to be run out of bounds at about the 8-yard line. 6 more yards, 7 more yards make it for Hunter Gary. So that splits the distance to go in half. And from a 2nd and 14, it goes to a 3rd and 7.
One thing about this Barren County defense, that was a great job, however, by Hunter to recognize that he didn't have anything open, decided to keep it and kind of run with it. But give some credit to this Barren County defense. They do a good job of swarming. Hunter kind of ran out of bounds, got knocked out of bounds, decided, or I guess you'd say elected to go out of bounds, didn't really have any room there. But Barren County, they're doing a good job at just moving their guys over the ball. They had all about 11 black jerseys over there near that corner of the end zone.
3rd and 7, Cougars at the Barren County 8-yard line. I formation backfield. Ethan Henson, the tailback, with Bertram, the fullback. Running the option left as Gary keeps it, ducks under across the 5, and they're going to mark him at about the 4-yard line. So it's another 4-yard pickup. It'll bring up a 4th down and about 3, a short 3 yards. Under a minute and a half, a minute 27 left on the clock. It'll be interesting to see if the call here is to go for it or kick the field goal. Looks like the decision's going to be to go for it here, Sean.
Yeah, it would probably be a pretty good decision too, Tom. We've seen that last extra point that we went. We've seen a lot of pressure from that front line. Of course, if you remember, obviously it got blocked there. So Grayson County right now, I think what they're going to do is, I wouldn't be surprised if they maybe extend the cadence here, try to get Barren County to jump off sides, maybe be a little bit aggressive. But there's no question right now. I'd look to see Hunter maybe get to the outside and try to keep it.
Running the option, cuts it up the middle, going to the end zone, touchdown from 4 yards out. Hunter Gary faked the toss to the outside, cut it up in the middle, scores the GC6.
That's a great job. Once again, Tom, right there, Hunter, they just allowed him to keep the football and try to make a decision and make a play. He's a playmaker. He kept it, tried to roll to the outside, and he quickly seen that there was a huge opening opened up onto the inside. He cut it up the middle for 4 yards. Great play call by the Cougar coaching staff, and great job by execution by the Cougar offense.
And the Cougars in situations like this where they have missed extra points this year have gone for 2 on the next possession, and that's what they're going to do here. They will go for 2. That is rushing touchdown number 6 on the season for Hunter Gary. So Cougars going for 2 here. They split out 2 wide to the left. Henson goes in motion to the left. Back to throw Gary to Henson in the flat, and he could not hold it on. The pass was just a little bit low, and Ethan wasn't able to scoop it up off the turf. So the extra point conversion fails, and the score remains 12-0 in favor of Grayson County with 52 seconds to go opening quarter.
Yeah, the ball might have been a little bit low, a little bit out in front of Ethan, but it was a very catchable pass. He should have came up with that one. I think what happened is a receiver, he kind of heard footsteps. He was anticipating contact before making the catch. As a receiver, Tom, you've always got to concentrate on making the catch first, then run with the football. That time a little bit easier said than done, but nevertheless, a tough break for the Cougars as we missed out on 2 points.
So the Cougar kickoff team will come out. Hunter Gary has already amassed over 100 yards rushing in this one. 101 yards, that big 62-yard carry. Of course, the Catalyst and that 25-yard touchdown. So
Tom, I think the one that got it all going, as you said, that first 25-yard run, is just a couple comments. You said, Hunter had carried the ball twice last week for 4 yards. Only carried it a couple times before that. But, one of the things we were talking about a little bit off air, Tom, was, when Grayson County was having so much success with their running backs and Hunter was doing so well throwing the ball, you didn't have to utilize him as a runner.
Keeps him fresh for the rest of the season. His kickoff lands at the 20-yard line, picked up by Barren County there, 25, and out to the 29-yard line. An upman actually fielded that. It was a short kick, and so Barren County comes back out on the field on offense with a first down and 10 from their own 29-yard line with 48 seconds to go, opening quarter. Grayson County 12, Trojans nothing.
That up back couldn't pick up a number, but he was very hesitant and slow picking up that ball. It looked like a Cougar player could almost dove in there on top of it. The ball laid down there for quite some time before he picked it up. But right now, Barren County forced with a little bit difficult field position here inside the 30. Grayson County right now got the momentum going their way with 12 points up on the board. Barren County still knocking on the scoreboard, but yet to put some points up.
Yeah, he was pretty much saying anybody but me, and Barren County's going to burn a timeout here before they come back out here and take the possession of the football on this offensive drive. The Kentucky Wildcats will be in action tomorrow, taking on the Akron Zips at Commonwealth Stadium. Kickoff is set for 6 o'clock with countdown to kickoff beginning here on K105 at 4:30. And then on Sunday, the Tennessee Titans look to remain unbeaten on the early young 2010 season. They host the Pittsburgh Steelers at LP Field. Countdown to kickoff at 11 a.m. with kickoff set for noon Central Time here on K105. Titans looked fairly impressive in last Sunday's 38-13 victory over the Oakland Raiders. See what they can do with the Steelers. So here we have a 12-0 Grayson County lead with 48 seconds to go, opening quarter. The Cougars' first possession of the game went 3 and out, had to punt, but their last 2 possessions have gone for touchdowns, both of them runs by Hunter Gary.
And then, Tom, we were talking about this being a homecoming game, how important it is for Grayson County to come over here, send a strong message. So often you'll see a team, maybe not out of necessarily disrespect, but, placing a homecoming game in a situation where they think maybe this is our best shot at getting a win at home. But Grayson County coming out 12 points ahead right now to start this one off.
Quarterback draw out of the shotgun. It was actually a wildcat-type formation with Tyler Hughes, the tailback, taking the direct snap. Got it up to the 32-yard line for a gain of 3. Second down and 7. 26 seconds to go, opening quarter. This could be the final play of the first quarter here tonight as the Trojans break the huddle and come to the offensive line. Cougar defense waiting. Ball at their own 32-yard line. It's Thomas taking the snap. Actually, that's Hughes in at quarterback still. And this time they give to the fullback, Tyler Furlong. And he's able to gain about a yard. And that's going to be the end of the first down. It'll be 3rd down and 6 facing Barren County when we return for the second quarter of play. It is 12-0. Grayson County leading Barren County on the home of Cougar football, K105. 3rd down and 6 for Barren County as we get set to start the second quarter of play. Trojans trailing the Grayson County Cougars 12-0. Shotgun formation as Hughes remains in at quarterback for Barren County. Takes the snap, fakes the handoff, looking to throw over the middle and behind his intended receiver. It was Jess Hunt out in the open a little bit, but the throw was only to his outside shoulder and he could not hold on to it. So another 3 and out forced by the Grayson County Cougar defense, and the Trojans will be forced to punt on 4th and 6 from their own 34-yard line.
Yeah, I'm not really for sure exactly what route Jess Hunt was running that time. He was about 15, 20 yards down the field and had yet to turn around and actually look at the quarterback. So the quarterback that time, Thomas, getting a lot of pressure and just trying to get rid of it quick because the defensive line was all over him.
Jared Toms and Hunter Gary back. Toms is the deep man back at the 27-yard line. And the kick is another high end-over-end kick, and calling for the fair catch and getting it at the 34-yard line, Hunter Gary. So the Cougars will take over 1st and 10 from there with 11:47 to go. Second quarter, Cougars leading this one 12-0.
Right now, we'll see if Grayson County can continue the momentum they built up in the first quarter of play. They did a great job of moving the football, and the majority of that being on the shoulders of Hunter Gary. 7 carries, 101 yards rushing, with 2 of those going for touchdowns.
That's a pretty good first quarter, huh?
Pretty good, especially when he carried it twice last week for 4 yards.
Well, and the wear and tear you save by not having to run him in games like that, and you can save him for these district contests that mean a whole lot more. Jacob Pierce in motion to the far side. Gary runs the option to that side and cuts it up across the 40-yard line and is belted back once he gets there. It's going to be a gain of 6 yards, and we'll bring up a 2nd down and 4.
Once again, Barren County there doing a good, solid job. Still, Gary was able to pick up 6 yards, but Barren County doing a great job of stretching those plays out when we try to get to that outside. Tom, we've seen the difficulty trying to run inside the tackles. They're such a big team up front, but they also are pretty quick on the outside as they've done made several good plays there, keeping containment throughout the course of the first quarter and on into the second quarter here.
2nd and 4. Cougars at their own 40-yard line. This time to give to Bertram. Barrels over a tackler, has a Davis Insurance first down across the 45, and they're going to actually spot it right at the 45. 5-yard pickup for Cody Bertram.
I like watching Cody run. We talk about Cody. He's one of those players. He doesn't take a chance with losing the football. There's no question. He keeps both hands all over the ball, so it's going to be so difficult to pry the ball away from him. But Cody comes into this game with 23 rush attempts for 160 yards and 3 touchdowns. Tonight he's carried the ball twice for 6 yards. And Tom, quite frankly, we think he might have got robbed with a few yards there one game as well.
Gary on the keeper again. Not a whole lot of real estate out there this time. He's tackled at about the 47-yard line for a gain of 2.
But Cody is one of those type of players you could really depend on in those situations. If it was a second 4, just needed 4 yards to pick up the first down, you could almost guarantee he's going to get those yards and then some. And that's what he does. He keeps those feet moving and just kind of chugging along so well. It's so hard to bring him down.
Cougars move right to left on your radio dial in this second quarter of play. It's Jared Tom splitting out wide left. And to the far side of the field, Dylan Douthit. This time the pitch to Jacob Pierce, right side, 50. And a shoestring tackle as he was about to get big yardage in the field. He gets to the 46-yard line of Barren County. So it is a pickup of 7 yards. It'll bring up a 3rd down and 1.
Once again, right now, the Cougar offense, they've utilized 5 different players offensively coming out of that backfield. That time I could almost guarantee you that ball, though, was going to the other far side of the field. Jared Toms, watch how far that he actually runs out when he lines up over that split end spot. I mean, he's a couple yards from the sideline, but it seems like he's 40 yards away from Hunter Gary.
3rd and 1. Gary on the keeper, spins away from a tackler and dives forward. He's going to be shy of a first down. He got about a half a yard. He needed a full yard. And it's at the 45-yard line, 4th down and inches. And I would think that Coach Smart would probably go for it here. That's this close.
Yeah, really close. I mean, tough spot there by the officiating crew, nevertheless. But you said, needed a good, clean, solid yard. Almost got about a half a yard. Looked like, if they even gave him that much. But this right here is one of those moments where you just tell your offensive line up front, guys, we want to see how bad you want it. We just need a couple inches. You do your job.
Gary takes the snap, gives to Bertram, and he's got Davis Insurance first down across the 45 to the 43-yard line. 2-yard pickup, and Bertram has another first down for Grayson County.
And that's one of the great things about having a guy out of the backfield like Cody Bertram. If you look at his numbers, when it comes time at the end of the season, he might not have any kind of impressive, 1,000-yard season or what have you, but you can guarantee every yard that he picks up, he has to fight for, and they're so essential to this offense of keeping those chains moving. That time right there just needed a couple inches, but you better believe those couple inches, they're hard to pick up, but Cody made it look easy.
8:32 to go second quarter. Grayson County leading 12-0. Gary back to throw, rolling out to the far side, can run. He's going to fire for the end zone instead. Has a man open and out in front of the outstretched arms of Dylan Douthit. As that time Gary launched that ball 50 yards in the air, and Douthit had a step. It was just a little bit too far in front of him.
Yeah, that was a good throw by Hunter. He threw the ball exactly where he needed to be. Had time to set, plant his feet. Dylan Douthit, though, kind of got caught. It's so easy to do as a receiver. You get guilty of it. Is once that ball's in the air and that receiver starts to put his hands out there, Tom, their feet stop moving. It's kind of like a curse for a receiver. That's what happened to Dylan. As he reached out to catch the football, his feet slowed down, and as a result, he didn't have enough speed to get to underneath the football to make the catch.
And Gary back to throw again, over the middle, has a man at the 20, 30, 25, 20. It's Sean Tuttle. He's spinning forward to the 18-yard line. It's a pickup of 25 more yards on the Sicilian Bank hometown connection. Hunter Gary to Sean Tuttle.
That was a great job by Sean Tuttle. More importantly, not only did he do a good job of finding an opening in the defense and setting down, Gary recognized that, made a nice catch, but I was impressed with Tuttle hanging on to the football. One thing I've noticed about this defense for Barren County, Tom, is they do an exceptional job of reaching in, trying to pry and pull and get that football out of you. I'm surprised Grayson County really that they've done a good job of taking care of the ball, but I wouldn't be surprised to see a ball maybe come out of there if one of the receivers or running back just gets a little lackadaisical.
15 yards away.
That was a great run by Jacob. One thing that impressed me so much about that run is when he bounced it to the outside, the defensive end was there to make a nice play, Tom, but Pierce just recognized that kind of in his peripheral vision because the defender was coming from his side and just picked up his feet, kind of high-stepped it. That's why it's so important, and he was able to kind of outstep the arms, reaching in to make that tackle, and it allowed him to get to that outside up for a score. Great run by Jacob Pierce.
19-yard touchdown run for Jacob, and with 7:47 to go second quarter, it's 18-0 now in favor of Grayson County, and the Cougars look as if they are going to go for a two-point try once again. They had their opening extra point try blocked. Their second try, they went for two and were unable to convert, and here they go again for two. Gary with Pierce in motion to the far side. Gary rolling out to that side, looking to throw. Now cuts it back to the outside on the other side left. Fires for the end zone. Has Toms. A beautiful catch by Jared Toms in the end zone for the 2-point conversion. And with 7:47 to go, first half, it's Grayson County now in front 20-0 over Barren County on the home of Cougar football, K105. Hunter Gary's kickoff sends Tyler Hughes, the returner, back to his goal line, and he makes a nice return across the 25 and is wrestled down at the 30-yard line by Dustin Peak. And so Barren County, after the good return by Hughes, has good field position, but they trail the Grayson County Cougars by a score of 20-0 with 7:39 to go first half.
Tom, going back to that extra point play, that catch by Jared Toms there and the scramble by Hunter Gary, that was such a great job of those two players communicating and working together on the field, because that's one of those plays, though, you run in practice a lot of time. It's called the scramble drill, because so many times you're taught as a receiver is if that quarterback gets in trouble, you just need to kind of work back and forth down the field and kind of shadow him, and that's what Toms did. He was able to recognize that. Gary was able to see him in the end zone and make a beautiful pass and catch.
Tyler Hughes still in at quarterback. He's in the shotgun formation. Takes the snap. It's a keeper. Met at the 31-yard line, and he falls forward to the 32. Gain of 1 as that play after the kickoff was spotted at the 31-yard line. So 2nd down and 9 upcoming for Barren County. And what the Trojans have been able to do, Sean, tonight is the one drive that they were able to get inside Grayson County territory was throwing the ball. We've not seen them do that so much, and we can only wonder, that ever since that, their starting quarterback, Gil Thomas, has been out of the game. In the last couple of drives, it's been Tyler Hughes who has not thrown a pass all year. So,
and as you pointed out to me, Tom, I didn't realize actually going into this game that Luke Matthews, or another quarterback who's been sharing a lot of snaps coming in the night, is actually out for the season as well. So they could be in some dire straits back there at that quarterback position if in fact, that's the case. We'll look to get maybe some more verification on that to see if in fact there is or could be something wrong with maybe Thomas or his arm.
False start penalty again against Barren County. It's the 3rd time they've been whistled for that infraction here tonight, so that'll back it up 5 additional yards to the 27-yard line, and will set up a 2nd down and 14 for Barren County.
And I don't know if Barren County offensively is trying something maybe different than they haven't tried in the first few games as far as lining up offensively, because that's one of those calls, as you said, 3rd time they've been flagged for that tonight, that you really don't start to see a whole lot in the 4th or 5th game of the season. That's one of those things you expect to see at the first game of the season because that's more of a mental thing, guys getting lined up in the right spot, the quarterback recognizing that people are set before he initiates the snap.
Shelby Bailey, the fullback in the I formation. Hughes fakes it to him under pressure in the backfield and is leveled for a sack as Dustin Crane and Shane Goff combine for the sack back at the 18-yard line. It's a loss of another 9 yards, and boy, Hughes had no chance on that play.
Yeah, that was a great play. Seen it develop from the start. As you said, I've been waiting all year to see both Goff and Crane get in there together on the same play. Both of those guys filled the gaps brilliantly. They recognized it, and the offensive line for Barren County just could not match up to the amount of men we brought up to the line of scrimmage. Crane, Goff, both of those guys were back there before Hughes could even do anything.
3rd down and 23 from the 18-yard line. Shotgun formation with 4 wide receivers, and Hughes rolls out to the far side, looking over the middle, and has a man. It's caught at the 25-yard line, and bumping into him before he was able to make the catch. It looked like Braxton Williams got there a little bit early and bumped the intended receiver, and he's going to be called for pass interference. And the unfortunate thing for Grayson County there, Sean, I think this is going to result in an automatic first down. Had he even made the catch and just made the tackle, he was going to be nowhere near a first down.
Yeah, it's going to be very unfortunate for Grayson County, and it's kind of a poor decision that time on Braxton's part. He kind of just threw his shoulder in there to him. You see that happen a lot of time in NFL, college. You'll see a lot of those defensive back players come in there and just kind of make that hit on him. But as you said, had he even caught it, he would have been already on the ground to begin with. So just a kind of a mental breakdown that time by Braxton Williams. You've got to know where the chains are always as a receiver, but also as a defender to know where they need to get the first down. He would have been a long way from picking up the first down. Should have just let him go.
And a little bit of trouble here as the offensive line did not start when the ball was snapped, and a huge loss again as Morgan Decker is in on the tackle once again for Grayson County, as this play is going to lose yardage back to the 29-yard line. It's a 4-yard loss. And again, on that pass interference play, it was an automatic first down. It was 3rd down and 24 for Barren County, and they were able to get the automatic first down on the penalty. And now they're facing, however, again, a 2nd and long, 2nd and 14 from their own 29. I formation backfield behind Tyler Hughes in at quarterback. Takes the snap, gives to the tailback, nothing there. Nick Haycraft stands him up at the 27-yard line.
Tom, I'm
giving a loss of 2.
I mean, it's just amazing right now how well this defensive line's playing, and Nick Haycraft right there coming in, just kind of filling the gap. Haycraft was all over him right there. 5'10", 160-pound junior defensive lineman. Nick Haycraft, great job defensively, causing problems for this offensive line. And, you know, like, you can't say enough about how well our defense is playing and solid up front. Secondary, they haven't been tested. As you said, Barren County made a real nice reception there in the first quarter. Haven't went back to it because we don't know if something's going on with Thomas or not. But this defensive line for the Cougars playing extremely solid here this first half.
3rd down and 15, Barren County. Shotgun formation for Hughes, 4 wide receivers, and a false start penalty, as in the backfield was Tyler Furlong, the fullback, and he flinched forward just ahead of the snap, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down and 20 for Barren County as they're back up to the 23-yard line.
Tom, you know, if I'm a head coach for Barren County, I'm calling a timeout, and I'm pulling my players aside saying, basically, guys, we have 5 penalties, illegal procedure, offsides on offense. There's no excuse for that as an offense. As I said, that's a mental penalty that just really burns up coaches, and it's cost Barren County in this first half. There's no question. It's killed their drives. As soon as they started to develop some momentum, they've shot themselves in the foot with a big penalty such as that one there. But, however, that penalty could have saved them. It was a very poor snap. Ball would have been laying into the end zone. So maybe it was a positive thing there for Barren County in that particular case.
3rd down and 20, Trojans from their own 23-yard line. And Hughes is just going to take the snap from the shotgun and run it, and he's going to be wrestled to the turf by Jacob Pierce at about the 35-yard line. Gets a good gainer of 12, and will set them up with better punting field position. But nonetheless, they will be punting on a 4th and 8 from the 35, and the Cougars will look to get the football back.
Hughes has had a couple decent runs, but it's been those huge losses that he's kind of took the brunt of from the defensive line of the Cougars that's caused his yardage to really dig himself a hole, as I've got him down for 4 yards total on 6 carries.
Gary has fair caught the last 2 punts by Barren County, and this one's a low liner, and it's going to bounce at the 36-yard line and bounce back to the 40-yard line, and that's where the Cougars will take over. 1st down and 10 from there. We have 3 minutes and 8 seconds to go in the first half. Grayson County leading this one by a count of 20-0, looking to add to that lead here before halftime. And the Cougars have a full complement of 3 timeouts remaining.
Tom, that punt there wasn't really a long punt, but Hunter Gary actually had his back to the football. The ball appeared like it came real close to hitting Gary. Would have been a live football, but obviously Gary, had he felt that probably hit him, he would have been very alert to try to get back on top of the football. But the Cougars taking over here. Hopefully, he can keep the momentum going.
Pierce in motion to the far side. Gary with the late pitch to him, and Jacob to the outside. Cuts it to the middle. 45. Cuts it up again. 50. 45. Breaks a tackle. 40. Dragging a tackler down to the 35-yard line. 25 more yards and a Davis Insurance first down for Jacob Pierce.
You got to love watching Pierce run with the football. I just can't help but smile because it looks like a cartoon out there, Tom, because he's just able to pick up his speed at the turn of a dime, because we joked around it last week about his speed. I could make a good move, but it'd take me 10 minutes to get going back full speed. Pierce, he'll stop completely after running full speed, then he's back running, made some brilliant moves to get that run. 25 yards.
24 yards as they spotted it back at the 36-yard line. They didn't give him a favorable spot, and this time Dustin Peak takes the handoff from the fullback position and is met at the line of scrimmage and brought down there. No gain on the play for Peak. Peak. It will be 2nd down and 10 for Grayson County with the clock moving. 2 minutes, 30 seconds to go. First half, Grayson County leading at 20-0.
Hey, Jacob Pierce, he's a player, 5'8", 160. Senior for this Cougar football program, so he's really developed over the course of the few years and been a solid player and expected, to carry a lot of this weight offensively, and he's done a great job so far this season.
Gary takes the snap. Pitch to Pierce again behind the line of scrimmage. 30, 25, 20. He's gone. 15, 10. Touchdown, Grayson County. Jacob Pierce from 36 yards out. His second rushing touchdown of
that time, that play, it looked like the play was almost coming to a complete stop. Hunter Gary had the ball kind of sucked in the pocket into the last minute, Tom. He pitched that out to Pierce, and Pierce was gone. He was out. You're not going to catch him out on that sideline if you're trying to run him down from behind.
And Hunter had 3 defenders staring right at him when he pitched that football. They'll go for 2 here. Gary up under center. Cougars now leading 26-0 after the 36-yard touchdown run by Jacob Pierce. And this time the 2-point conversion's not going to go anywhere as Peak took the handoff and was met right at the line of scrimmage where he was carrying the football. And so the 2-point conversion fails, and the Cougars lead stands at 26-0.
Once again, just seeing this Cougar offense is so explosive, Tom, putting points on the board, and the defense continuing to do what they've done all year, and that's hold the offense down and not allow any points up on the board. Still right now holding this Barren County team pointless at this point, and the defense still yet to give a touchdown up all season. Hopefully we won't jinx ourselves here. We've been known to do that a few times, but this Grayson County defense, how solid they play to set up the offense, and as we've seen right there, a play that looked like that is about to go down for a tackle for loss. Hunter Gary at the line of scrimmage, last minute pitches out to Pierce, and Pierce picks up a huge 36-yard touchdown.
So the Cougars prepare to kick off once again, leading 26-0. 2 minutes and 6 seconds to go. Barren County does have a couple of timeouts remaining in the half. Gary about to approach the football to kick this one off. Waiting for actually a whistle from the officials. And now they finally whistle the play in. And Gary gets off a very short kick. It's going to be fielded at the 29-yard line by a blocker. And he fumbles the football as he crossed the 35-yard line. The ball shot out all the way to the 43-yard line, and I believe Grayson County has recovered. No, it was Barren County being able to get back onto the football at the 43-yard line. That's why some of those blockers are always hesitant about carrying the football on kickoffs. And that ball just was like it was shot out of a cannon, one of the cannons they've got here tonight for homecoming.
Yeah, that was a great actually, the official just now changed it. One of the officials signaled it wrong.
Okay.
Well, hold on a minute. Yeah, it is Grayson County ball. Tom, I was going to say Grayson County was pretty ecstatic over there on the sideline. But, nevertheless, it is Cougar football. We did say for a moment that Barren County was able to maintain possession, and I'm pretty positive it was Sean Tuttle that was able to get back on top of it. Tom, it was so hard to tell because, as you said, that time the return guy for Barren County didn't have a choice. The ball was kicked right to him, and the last time we kind of jokingly made a comment, are they going to pick it up? That's what I think the coaching staff for Grayson County kind of thought, and they noticed that on that last kickoff is let's kick it to one of these big guys up front, and then maybe we can get a shot at recovering the football. But big break there for the Cougars. They get the ball back here, good field position in their own territory right there. The ball looks like it's spotted about the 43, 44-yard line.
Ball is at the 43-yard line, and again the referee signaled initially that it was Barren County ball, and then they come back and gathered and changed it, and it was Cougar ball. So the Cougars had the football with a minute 59 to go, and again they have their full complement of timeouts.
This is one of those moments, too, with 159 left here in the second quarter going into halftime. Grayson County's struggled to pick up that, they tried to get that 2-point conversion the last time. Of course, they were able to pick it up on that pass to Toms on one of the attempts. But right now, you don't need a 2-point conversion or a kick extra if you can continue to put 6 points up on the board like the Cougars have been able to do so far this first half. So it's going to be so important to them and meaningful if they're able to capitalize here on a turnover by Barren County and then put points on the board as a result of that.
So 2-minute offense for the Cougars with a minute 59 to go. They've got the football at the 43-yard line of Barren County, 1st and 10. Hunter Gary rolls out, pressure coming, gets away from one, gets away from another, and is going to be brought down at midfield for a sack. A loss of 7 yards on the play, as again, at times tonight, the Barren County defensive line has been very disruptive on the Cougar offense, and that time was a very good example of that, as Hunter had no time to do anything back there.
No, he really didn't. What happens is when we went out to twins to the right, that time had Tom's come out to the far near side of the field here closest to us. And what it does is it actually loses you some blockers up there at the line of scrimmage. As a result, Barren County is able to take advantage of it.
So Desmond Goldsberry on the reverse. The pitch went to Tuttle, and then Goldsberry came from the opposite side of the field on the reverse. He went 10 yards back to the 40-yard line, and then Desmond was able to get back to the line of scrimmage at midfield, but no gain on the play. It will bring up a 3rd down and 17 for Grayson County. Clock moving with 43 seconds to go in the first half.
Yeah, Desmond ran about 20 yards to get back to the line of scrimmage. It seemed like that play really developed a little bit too far back from the line of scrimmage. Nevertheless, fortunate to get back there to the line and not lose any yardage.
And this time the give is to Cody Bertram, who just absolutely bulls his way to the 45-yard line, picks up 5 yards, but it's nowhere near enough for a first down. It'll be 4th down, and unless Barren County decides to take a timeout here, I believe this will be the final play of the half. Cougars are coming to the line of scrimmage, though, on 4th and 12. Looks like they're probably going to run one last play here. They're going for it, and what have you got to lose here? 4th down, the snap to Gary. Clock is going to run out as he fires it downfield, has a couple of men on the outside. It's tipped, and if Sean Tuttle had been looking up, he would have had a 50 or 45-yard touchdown because the ball was deflected by Barren County, and Tuttle ran right by it.
Yeah, Tuttle, his head was up. He could have caught that for 6. You know, when he goes back and watches the film on that one, he'll be thinking, man, I should have just been looking. Because, you know, so many times the receiver, you know, he's seen that the ball was tipped. He just at that point just kind of hung his head and was like, well, we didn't get it. But as you said, had he stayed with that, he could have easily maybe come up with a catch. Would have been a tough one and would have been a nice catch. But nevertheless, what a great job this Cougar team did this first half.
They lead it by a count 26-0. Cougars at the half. They lead Barren County on the home of Grayson County Cougar football, K105. 26-0 our score from Glasgow as the Barren County Trojans trail the Grayson County Cougars. The Cougars looking impressive once again, scoring on 4 of their 6 drives in the first half. Their first drive went for a 3-and-out and a punt, and their last drive, time expired before they were able to score in that one. 26-0 our score. Hunter Gary and Jacob Pierce, Sean, has scored 2 touchdowns apiece running the football, and Gary has 102 yards rushing, and Pierce with 86.
Yeah, both of those guys have been the catalyst here this first half of this Cougar offense. We talked about Pierce coming in this ball game, you know, just how competitive he is out of that backfield and how he's developed within this program offensively. He carried the ball 14 times for 85 yards, 1 touchdown prior to tonight, but you can really step him up there with some yards because he's had a big first half. 4 carries, 86 yards, 2 of them going for touchdowns with his long 36 yards. And, of course, Hunter Gary, we kind of knocked on the door with him a little bit, and I think we got him going, Tom, you know, with our conversations there in the first half, just talking about the last few games, how the coaching staff has been really somewhat conservative with him because, you know, it may have been anticipation coming into a playoff game, or it might have been a result of so much success from the running backs outside and surrounding him, and then the fact of how well he's thrown the football. But the point is, he hasn't ran it too many times the last few games, only 2 carries last game, 2 prior to that. But tonight he's carried the ball 11 times, 113 yards, and the long being 62 yards, and 2 of those going for touchdowns. So a big night out of both of those young guys carrying the football.
And the defense is a stalwart once again for Grayson County, holding Barren County scoreless. They have yet to yield a point on defense throughout 4.5 games now to start the season for the Grayson County Cougars. They lead it by a count of 26-0. Our halftime report rolls on after this on the home of Cougar football, K105.
Twin Lakes Best Mix, K105.
The Grayson County Cougars get 2 touchdown runs in the opening quarter of 25 and 4 yards from Hunter Gary, and Jacob Pierce adds runs of 19 and 36 yards in the second quarter. The Cougars lead at Barren County by a count of 26-0. And, Sean, we talked about it kind of throughout the first half, and go a little bit more in depth here. We've got a little bit of extra time during our halftime segment here tonight because of homecoming festivities here at Barren County. But just the look of running the football for Hunter Gary looks so fresh out there for game number 5. We've really seen him take a pounding the last couple of years because, let's face it, he does not shy away from contact at the quarterback slot. But over the course of the last 2 games, we've talked about it, he's not had to run the football for the Cougars to be effective on offense, and that's really made him look very, very fresh here tonight, already eclipsing the 100-yard mark in the first half.
It really has, Tom, and and the coaches, the coaching staff for the Cougars, give them a lot of credit of utilizing him the way that they have so far this season. And one of the great things about Hunter is, when he's facing opposing teams, we talked about, from a coaching staff, if they're breaking down film, it's so challenging to take a quarterback like Hunter, someone that's kind of developed with the program, a 3-year starter. So many programs, cannot say that throughout the course of the state. But one of the things that Hunter does so well is he is able to utilize his arm extremely well and then able to run with the football. And as a result of that, it makes a defense really have to respect you on both sides of the game, and it creates opportunities for the other players around him. And it's just like taking on the basketball court. If you've got a player that's an extremely good shooter, everyone's going to key on that player, but, if you've got some other player, as a result of that, you'll see some other players pitch in and get a lot of points because, one night where he might not be on, he's able to hand the ball off to somebody else. But tonight, there's no question, Hunter's kind of rocking and rolling, running the football, as you said, surpassed the 100-yard mark already here in this first half, and having a big game he is. And he's actually thrown the ball well, too. He's moved the football in the air first half, so done a good job passing as well, as Grayson County has put up 55 yards passing the first half, 204 yards rushing. So for the first half, they've got 259 total yards compared to Barren County's 20. So that's been the key and the difference in the first half.
We would like to take this time to apologize for some poor reception we had last week in the game at Todd County, as we were supposed to have a phone line available to us with the game at Todd County Central, but however, when we got there, we did not. We had to go to backup equipment and couple that with the rainy conditions, and it led to a poor audio quality broadcast, and we do apologize for that, but should be smooth sailing throughout the rest of the season tonight included. Again, our score here at the half is 26-0 in favor of Grayson County, leading Barren County. Coming up next, we get a report from the Titans radio team of Mike Keith, Larry Stone, and Frank Wycheck. Titans host the Pittsburgh Steelers on Sunday at LP Field. That's coming up next on the home of Cougar football, K105.
K105.
Halftime score, Grayson County 26, Barren County nothing, as the first district game for both teams here tonight has the Cougars on top. A couple of touchdown runs by Hunter Gary and a couple by Jacob Pierce. The 4 scores here tonight for the Cougars. They have been able to convert 1 2-point conversion here tonight. Their opening touchdown of the game, they had an extra point blocked, and have been scrambling for the 2-point conversions ever since, converting 1 of those. And Sean Loxton has some more first-half stats from that impressive outing by the Cougars.
Yeah, Tom, as we mentioned a little bit earlier, one of the most impressive is the total net yards. Grayson County first half, 259 total yards offense compared to Barren County's 20 yards. Total offensive plays, Grayson County 29, Barren County 16. Net yards rushing, 204 for Grayson County. And the big number here, Tom, Barren County, -2 yards. So their yardages came from the air attack, as we alluded to in the first quarter. We still haven't got clarification necessarily, or maybe we have, on exactly what was going on with the quarterback there.
Thomas has a what they're calling a shoulder injury and is questionable to return, and Hughes is actually a 4th-string quarterback, I found out. He's not played quarterback in 2 years. They had Matthews, the original starter, who went down with an MCL injury, and he's out for what looks like to be the rest of the year. Then they had their 3rd-string quarterback get injured in a JV game. So they are going to their 4th-string quarterback here in Hughes. So it's tough things for the Barren County offense.
Yeah, and what more tough night to try to overcome such obstacles than against this Grayson County defense. defense, of course, that's so so widely known here and built a name for themselves, like kind of across the state. As we've talked about coming in the game, not allowing any points put up on the board on the defense. Now the Cougars have been scored on 2 points last week against Todd County Central, but in the first half, from a statistics standpoint, those are the numbers that really jump out. Total offense: Grayson County 259 yards compared to Barren County's 20. The big names that we talked about a little bit earlier in the half. A pass reception for 5 yards. Sean Tuttle, a catch for 25 yards, and Jared Toms, a 10-yard catch there. So a big game so far this first half with a large number of contributors. Cody Bertram, not a whole lot of yards offensively when you look at his stats. He's got 4 carries for 13 yards, Tom, but he's one of those players, as we mentioned, every yard he picks up he has to work for, and those yards are so essential to the Cougar offense when he carries the football. So big half by Grayson County. If they can continue the momentum here in the second half and close this one out, they're on route to shutting out, once again, another opponent of theirs here in this 2010 season.
And could improve to 5-0 with 3 home games upcoming for the Cougars. Next week, they'll host Clinton County, and that's a 7 o'clock kickoff, as always. We'll have our locker room show coverage beginning around 6:30. And then 2 weeks from tonight is the big showdown that the Cougars always look forward to as Bowling Green comes to Cougar Stadium. Then the Cougars play arch rival Butler County. Will play their final district game of the season at Warren Central before finishing out the regular season at home against bitter rival Edmonson County. So 4 games in the next 5 weeks at Cougar Stadium, 3 in a row, starting with Clinton County next week. And if the Cougars can take care of business to finish out tonight, take care of business next week, they look to have a monster showdown of 2 top 10 rated teams against Bowling Green. The Purples tonight are having their hands full, I'm sure. We don't have a score, but they are at Owensboro here tonight. So that should be an interesting result to see what happens in that one.
Tom, and as you said, Grayson County, not looking ahead, but that's going to be one game, obviously, that they've got on the bulletin board. You're talking about some great bulletin board kind of locker room pep talk is that game against Bowling Green, because, of course, as everyone knows, Coach Seabolt, the offensive coordinator for a number of years with this Grayson County football program, elected to leave the Grayson County program, go over to Bowling Green and take over the reins there as part of that coaching staff. So it's going to be an exciting game for this Cougar football program to face off against Bowling Green this season, just under those circumstances alone.
And that Bowling Green-Owensboro game, a tight one, we just learned 16-14. Bowling Green leads at the half. So that's going to be an interesting game to kind of monitor when you start looking at the scoreboards after tonight's cast of football games. Barren County is about to come out onto the field. They will receive the opening kickoff of the third quarter. The Cougars already out on the field, and we'd also like to remind you that if you know of a Cougar fan listening outside of the K105 listening area who'd like to tune in to listen to Cougar football all season long, they can do so with complimentary streaming audio at K105.com. And, of course, you can also go back to our audio archive and listen to games as well. That's K105.com for live coverage of Grayson County Cougar football online.
Tom, I just heard another cannon go off. I about dove underneath the table up here. The Kentucky National Guard out here tonight kind of displaying some of their artillery, I guess you could say. And the thing about it has been, it's not been no rhyme or reason when they fire one of those cannons. It could come at any time. Kind of a real-world situation, I guess you could say.
You said a team when you was at Wesleyan went through about $30,000 worth of ammunition.
They had to. I remember one game we played there. Yeah, the opposing team, every time they scored, they fired a cannon off. And yeah, unfortunately that night they went through a lot of shells.
And kickoff by Gary is going to trickle out of bounds on the far sideline and go inside the 20 and out, and that's a penalty, and will give Barren County some pretty good starting field position for their opening drive of the third quarter. Cougars will be moving right to left on your radio dial. Barren County for this drive will be heading left to right, and the penalty will now be assessed against Grayson County as, again, the kickoff went out of bounds. So Barren County will take over possession of the football at the 35-yard line. First down and 10 for the Trojans, who are, again, with their fourth-string quarterback. Tyler Hughes, the starting running back typically for Barren County, is in at quarterback. He's not played at that spot in 2 years. He's a senior. Gil Thomas, the backup quarterback, quarterback went down with a shoulder injury earlier in this ball game in the first half. Their original starter, Luke Matthews, went out earlier in the season with a torn MCL, and their third-string quarterback was injured in a junior varsity game recently. So they having some hard luck at the quarterback position. Hughes in a quarterback shotgun formation, 1st and 10 from the 35-yard line. It's a direct snap, and he's going to run forward to the 36-yard line and no more as Dustin Crane comes up from his linebacker spot to make the tackle.
Tom, and that's one of the differences in these two teams offensively. As we talked in the first half about Grayson County being able to utilize both the run and the passing game with Hunter Gary. Now, on the opposite side of that, if you look at Barren County, Grayson County defensively, they can really walk everybody up tight, bring everybody in the box because they know the game plan of Barren County right now is just basically to utilize the legs of Tyler Hughes being the starting running back. Now they're going basically not under-centered, playing it conservative and safe, going in the shotgun, basically just Hughes taking a direct snap and running with it.
This time he's rolling out right, looking to throw. Fires, and it is behind his intended receiver. It was Shelby Bailey, the intended receiver, and again, the two passes Hughes has attempted here tonight have been behind his intended targets.
And that was a good job by Michael Wood as well. Wood, their defensive lineman, did a great job of dropping back. He recognized that the quarterback that time, Hughes, was rolling out and pass. So as a result, Wood stepped back a few yards from the line of scrimmage, got over in his assignment, played good pass coverage. Actually looked like he might have even got a hand or a fingertip on that football, but a great job nevertheless.
3rd down and 9. Barren County from their own 36-yard line. 11:14 to play third quarter. Hughes takes the shotgun snap, looking to throw into the flat, has his man Bailey back at the 32 and wrestled down to the turf by Michael Wood right there. It's going to be a loss of 3 yards to the 33-yard line.
Once again, we've seen Barren County, we talked about them not being able to really go to that passing game. But right now they're forced in that situation because, they basically know as well Grayson County's bringing everybody, assuming that they're going to run with the football. So they have no alternative other than try to mix it up. That time Hughes was able to complete it, but it did go for a loss of -3.
And the punting unit out for Barren County on 4th down and 12. And the Cougars nearly get another block punt. This one bounces at the 42-yard line of Grayson County and takes a tremendous Barren County roll as that thing rolls 20 yards to the 21-yard line. So that's where the Cougars will take over 1st and 10. And, it bears mentioning as the Cougars nearly got that block punt. They blocked a punt in every game so far this season. That's something that is a rare accomplishment.
It really is. And on punts tonight, actually, Barren County, they're averaging 31 yards a punt. That's the 5th time they punted it. One of the better punts there, but as you said, it nearly blocked. But it was really just a poor punt. The punt probably never got above maybe 10 feet above the ground, but as soon as it hit the ground, it took an excellent roll, Barren County roll, and set up Grayson County here in poor field position, right on the 21-yard line to start this one off.
Hunter Gary, for the first time in 3 weeks, is going to take snaps in the third quarter. He played only a half on offense the last 2 games. He's in there now here in the third quarter. Takes the snap, running the option right, cuts it under 25, 30, and gets to the outside 35, breaks a tackle, 40, 45, midfield, 40 of Barren County. He's going to score. Hunter Gary from 79 yards collects another GC6.
That's a great job by Hunter right there. As you said, Hunter right coming out for one of the few times there in the third quarter. He takes that snap and then rolls over to his right, finds an opening, makes a great cut into that hole quickly, and then bounces to the outside. There was 2 or 3 hands on him. Could have easily came up with tackles for Barren County, but Hunter did a great job at eluding those guys to the outside. And Hunter's a player. When he really gets out there, Tom, he's got a lot of speed as well, and he was able to turn it on. Great job. 79 yards. Wore me out just watching it.
And after trying 3 consecutive 2-point conversions, they'll try an extra point, which is brought to you by District Judge candidate Darren Sipes. And this time, Hunter Gary splits the uprights for the conversion. 33-0. Grayson County on top of Barren County. We'll take a timeout with 10-12 to go, third quarter. Cougars rolling on the home of Cougar football, K105. Tyler Hughes receives the Hunter Gary kickoff back at the 10-yard line, brings it out to the 34-yard line, and that's where Barren County takes over following that 79-yard touchdown run by Hunter Gary, now with 181 yards rushing on the night and 3 touchdowns. Now Hunter on the season with better than 420 yards rushing and 7 rushing touchdowns to go along with his 6 passing touchdowns.
Pretty impressive stats just to be, no farther into the season than we are, Tom. So what a great job Hunter's done in his senior season here for the Cougars.
So Barren County on the field with their offense, 1st and 10 from their own 34-yard line. Hughes, the quarterback, running the option to the near side, and he's going to be met at the 35, and he scoots forward to the 37. Shane Goff on the stop for Grayson County on the pickup of 3 by Hughes.
Looked like Hughes ran a lot farther than 3 yards, but he just kind of ran away from where he took the snap at, probably 15 yards towards the sideline there. Did see the option, one of the first times we've seen that with Hughes back there as quarterback, but Shane Goff did a great job of recognizing who had the football, getting over and making a play on Hughes.
2nd down and 7 upcoming for Barren County as they come back to the line of scrimmage, as Sean alluded to in their last drive. Hughes going exclusively in the shotgun formation this time with 4 wide receivers on the field. Takes the snap. Back to throw. Pressure coming. Dodges, has room to run. 40, 45, and is hammered down at the 48-yard line. As that time Hughes gains 11 yards and a first down.
That's the big difference, and that was a great run by Hughes that time. He picked up 11 yards, but you can see Hughes is a really solid athlete, and he would probably be a tremendous running back if they were able to really utilize him in that position. We've seen in their first quarter, I think this Barren County team, Tom, they're just kind of deflated at this point. We've really seen them come out and play very solid defensively. Offensively, we've seen them, at times make some good plays. Of course, with the quarterback Thomas going out, that was just another kind of hiccup or thorn in their side. Hughes takes him out of his rhythm. He has to go at quarterback. But what a good job Grayson County is taking advantage of all the adversity that Barren County is having to overcome.
Again for the Barren County Trojans after the gain of 3 by Tyler Hughes.
Yeah, that was a great job by Grayson County defense that time. There was about 4 or 5 white jerseys just completely surrounding him. But the tackle was led by Morgan Decker, and once again, Michael Wood. Those guys been on plays all night long, causing problems for this Barren County offense.
8:15 to go, 3rd quarter. It's Grayson County leading Barren County by a count of 33-0. And the Trojans have the football. 2nd time tonight they've reached Grayson County territory, although they have just got inside there at the 49-yard line. Hughes takes the snap, running left. He's got a blocker in front, gets it to the outside, 45, dives forward, and let's see where they spot the football. Nice run that time as the Trojan offense is starting to churn out some yardage here on this drive, and they're going to give him the 43-yard line, so 6-yard pickup, and that's going to bring up a 3rd and about a long yard here. So the clock continues to move with 7.5 minutes to go. Cougars leading 33-0, looking to go 5-0 on the season.
Tom, one of the things about the Barren County Stadium, a little bit different than a lot of stadiums we'll play across throughout the season, is they have no opposing bleachers on the other side of the field, which is kind of unique. You see a lot of times when you're on the road, we'll look across the field from our vantage point and be able to see Grayson County following. But, here, Grayson County fans are kind of mixed among the Barren County on this side, so it makes it a little difficult to really see how many people made the trip over here. But nevertheless, Grayson County, there's no question, they have showed up to play tonight.
And on 3rd and just inside 2 yards, another false start flinch by the Barren County offensive line. So that backs up the Trojans 5 yards, and it will be 3rd down and 7 from the 48.
And amazingly enough, that's the 6th time they've been flagged for that offsides call. 30 yards it's cost them, and it cost them a lot on some key drives they had during the first half. As they started to move the football, they were flagged for an offsides.
And Hughes gives to his tailback in the backfield, and he is just obliterated in the backfield. It's going to be a loss of 4 yards back to the 48-yard line of Barren County. Dustin Peak in on the hit.
Yeah, great job at Dustin Peak. He came off that outside just completely untouched. Hughes just probably should have just kept it. He got rid of it just in time, but a great job by Peak coming in there with some hot pursuit, and then Decker in there as well, cleaning up the rest.
So 4th down and 10 for Barren County. And they'll punt. So after having a 3rd and 1, they end up in a 4th and 10. Low lining kick bounces at the 30-yard line. Gary's going to jump on it so to prevent it from rolling down perhaps inside the 20, and he scoops it forward to the 28-yard line. So the Cougars come back out on offense, leading this one by a 33-0 count.
And also this is one of those games too, Tom, where we've seen You made a comment about Hunter being in there one of the few times we've seen him in the third quarter, but this is one of those games too where points can become pretty important at the end of the season in that district, in the district competition when you start to kind of go head to head against some other players. How many points you're putting up? So you better believe Coach Flart's going to want to try to get as many points as he can up on that scoreboard tonight against Barren County.
Perhaps a busted play here as the running back went one way, Hunter went the other. And Hunter is able to dive forward to the 32-yard line and pick up 4 yards out of it after looked like he may have lost some yardage on the play. So that'll bring up 2nd down and 6. And that's sort of the thing you get with a third-year starting quarterback there, Sean, is he never panicked. Guy went one way, he went the other, but no panic in Hunter. He was able to just, say, okay, I want to just tuck it and get a few yards here.
He picked up 4. Good job by him. And that is true, Tom. You take so many quarterbacks inexperienced in that, they would have really kind of buckled down and could have been a big loss.
Runs the option with Jacob Pierce to the far side this time. Cuts it up underneath on the keeper, and he reaches the 35-yard line for another 3-yard pickup, and that will bring it to a 3rd down and 3 situation for Grayson County.
He picked up a 3 on that play. 3rd down, 3 to go.
And they're actually going to spot it back at the 34-yard line. The one side judge comes in and marks it at the 35 every time, or 1 yard shy, 1 yard ahead, and then another one comes in and spots it back a yard. So it's interesting. So it'll be 3rd down and 4 from the 34-yard line. Need the 38 for a first. Gary under center. Pierce goes in motion. Hunter runs the option with Pierce on the outside. Pitches it to him late, and he's going to be met and dropped. He crossed the 35-yard line. It looked like just got across it, and he was met immediately, and that'll bring up a 4th down.
Line up, extend that cadence, try to draw the defense off sides here on this particular play.
Offense is on the field. 4th and 2 from the 36-yard line. Gary up under center. Cougars getting the formation set. Hunter takes the snap. The give to Peak. Met at the line of scrimmage. That bounces at the outside, and he's going to have a Davis Insurance first down at the 40-yard line. 4-yard pickup, and it looked like he was going to lose about 2 yards on that play.
That was a great job by Peak. He immediately realized that he wasn't getting through that line of scrimmage, Tom, and he just looked like a spin move. Rolled himself out of there to the outside, bounced it out, and was able to pick up enough yards to keep those chains moving. But one of the things that really separates Hunter Gary from a lot of quarterbacks that we'll face throughout the years, that particular play there, we've seen Barren County flag 6 times for offsides. Hunter made sure it was very adamant that we were lined up and ready to go before he got under center. Could have easily been an offsides, but Hunter was able to be aware of that and made a good job and a good play.
Another late pitch to Jacob Pierce, 45, and he reaches about the 46-yard line before he falls to the turf, and he had a lot of room out in the open had he not lost his balance after being hit, and it's a 6-yard pickup for Jacob Pierce.
Pierce having a great job, a great game tonight. Did a great job there. 97 yards on 6 carries, so he's closing in very quickly on 100 yards as well, with a lot of time still left in this ball game. Once again, 6 carries, 97 yards.
3.5 minutes to go, third quarter. Grayson County 33, Barren County nothing. Hunter Gary up under center. Wide receiver either side. Ethan hits.
About this Cougar offense, Tom, is just watching some of these players develop within the system. Ethan Henson, of course, coming into this ball game, has carried the ball 7 times for 45 yards. One of those going for a touchdown. Tonight, his first carry of the game, and a big one it went for 16 yards. But more importantly, just seeing the type of play, the type of plays that he's making on the field. I mean, he was hit at the line of scrimmage, was able to make a spin move, a sidestep. Very, very talented running back. So great play by Ethan Henson.
And we have an injured Barren County Trojan on the field here. 3:12 to go, third quarter. It's 33-0 Grayson County, and we certainly hope the best for the young man out on the field as the training staff for Barren County is out attending to him. We cannot pick out a number from the vantage point from where we are at, so we won't speculate on that. Again, this will not be the only game on the K105 airwaves this weekend, as the Kentucky Wildcats at home again tomorrow night hosting Akron. Countdown to kickoff at 4:30 Central, with kickoff set for 6 o'clock, and the Titans at home hosting the Pittsburgh Steelers on Sunday. Countdown to kickoff at 11 o'clock with the game set for a noon start time, and they are helping the Trojan off the field, as it looks like it could potentially be a cramp situation. We hope that's the case, but he is coming off to the sideline. 33-0 our score with 3:12 to go in the third quarter. It's going to be a first down and 10, Grayson County at the Barren County 38-yard line. Looks as though that is Brandon Sneed, a junior linebacker. And they are, again, helping him off. He's not even putting any weight on his right leg, so we certainly wish young Mr. Sneed the best. First down and 10, Cougars under center with Hunter Gary. In motion is Henson again to the right, and this time Hunter fakes the pitch. Looking to go long, has a man. Sean Tuttle at the 10, 5, end zone. 38-yard touchdown on the Sicilian Bank hometown connection. Hunter Gary to Sean Tuttle.
That was a beautiful pass that time by Hunter Gary. The defense bought on it, and Sean Tuttle did an excellent job. One of the things we talked about earlier, Tom, is when that ball's in the air, so many receivers get guilty of slowing down. Not Sean Tuttle that time. He did an excellent job. He just kind of picked up his pace, so to speak, was able to run right underneath it, and Gary laid it out there beautifully. Great play by the offense.
That is Tuttle's second touchdown reception of the season, and that's the 7th passing touchdown for Hunter Gary, 38 yards. And the extra point try, brought to you by District Judge candidate Darren Sipes, is up, splits the uprights, and good. So our new score with 2:57 to go, third quarter, Grayson County 40 and Barren County nothing.
So Hunter Gary tonight, 104 yards passing, 186 yards rushing. Not a bad night for a quarterback, with still 2:57 left in the third quarter, Tom.
3 rushing touchdowns and a passing touchdown, so
and an extra point conversion there on the pass.
Yep.
Couple of kicks in. Not a bad night. Really setting himself up to be a maybe McDonald's player of the game.
He very well could be on his way to that, because when you put those type of stats up, it's hard to not give it to him. 2:57 to go. Gary is out on the field, and like we said, he does a lot of things. He's the punter and the kicker, as well as the starting defensive back and starting quarterback for the Cougars. Hughes and Furlong back deep for Barren County, as Gary approaches the football and gets off a low-lining drive kick that goes down to the 10-yard line. It is going to be Furlong bringing it down across the 20, dives over a man, Goldsberry, and good tackle, though, as Goldsberry gets credit for that, as the 29-yard line is where Barren County sets up shop.
Goldsberry did a great job of getting down the field there, and as you said, made a good tackle. Goldsberry, Coach Smart said a few games ago, Tom, Goldsberry is one of the most improved players on this Grayson County football program. And, and he's had some shining moments so far this season, made some big plays at different times throughout the course of the year. That time made a big tackle for the kickoff team.
Barren County out on offense once again, trailing 40-0 to Grayson County with 2 minutes and 49 seconds left to go in the third quarter. Hughes in at quarterback in the shotgun formation. 3 wide receivers on the field for the Trojans. Takes a snap, gives to his tailback, and nowhere to run. He's going to lose a yard back to the 27-yard line. Make it the 2-yard loss back to the 27. It'll be second down and 12.
Once again, Morgan Decker in on the tackle for the Cougars that time. Decker, he's been on a handful of tackles. Got him down for about 7 tackles tonight, Tom. And what a night he's had up on that defensive line. Cody Yeager in there as well, so a little help from him, and what a job this defense has done all season, and especially tonight here in this ball game.
We also have a score from the Warren Central. That's the other team in the district. They are walloping Warren East third quarter with about 10 minutes to go in that one, 35-0. Second and 12 for Barren County. 2 minutes to play in our game in the third quarter, with the Cougars comfortably ahead 40-0. Hughes rolls out looking to throw, and again had a man open for a moment, but threw it behind him, and the receiver could not make the adjustment on the ball, and it falls incomplete for a 3rd and 12 upcoming.
Yeah, I think exactly what happened that time was the receiver, he looked over at Hughes immediately and kind of pointed to himself like, my bad there, Hughes. And the reason I think he did that was he was running a drag pattern, supposed to run across the field as Hughes was rolling out to the far side of the field, but the receiver noticed that Gary was kind of setting in his territory, and the receiver set down, but just not good communication between receiver and the quarterback that time for Barren County. Good, give some credit to the secondary there once again for Grayson County.
Hughes in shotgun, rolling out, pressure coming from Haycraft, gets away, now trying to get to the outside. Michael Woods there, now Hughes with 4 Cougars bearing down, tries a pass, and it's going to be incomplete as Hunter Gary was there right as the ball was delivered to the intended receiver to knock it away for a 4th down.
That's a great job and perfect timing that time by Hunter Gary. Heard a lot of sighs and oohs from the audience here in front of us. They wanted a pass interference call, but it was a great play made nevertheless by Hunter Gary and a good break on the football. But it appeared there for a moment and then might have come up with a completion as the quarterback Hughes scrambled trying to find somebody open. The defensive line was all over him once again. I keep saying it sounds like a broken record, Tom, but our defense has been extremely solid throughout the course of this game. But a big play by Hunter Gary breaking on the ball to knock that one down.
Well, the starting defensive line of Morgan Decker, Cody Yeager, and Nick Haycraft have been phenomenal all season long so far. Punting situation, and another good high kick by Barren County is going to bounce. Actually, it's going to go out of bounds, and they're going to rule it at the 44. No, let's see where the referee's going to finally stop here. 47-yard line.
Tom, you're not kidding earlier when you said, well, no, he's back now. He's back. The officials, they've kind of been back and forth all night about where they should stand or where they need to stand. One stands one place, the other one says, no, we're over here. But eventually they get it ironed out. But Grayson County taking over after that punt by Barren County, as you said, did go out of bounds.
He did spot the football originally at the 44, then he walked up and said, no, it's the 47, then he went back to the 44. So they've got it sorted out, and the Cougars have it 1st and 10 from the 44-yard line. Braxton Williams in at quarterback now for the Cougars. Ethan Henson goes in motion, and Braxton tries to toss. It's batted away, and Braxton's just going to dive on it back at the 30-yard line. He's going to lose 14 yards on the play. Defensive lineman came through for Barren County and tipped the intended toss from Williams back to Ethan Henson. And the ball spiraled out down to the 30-yard line, so the Cougars are set up with a 2nd down and 24 now.
Tom, and those are the type of plays, they're unfortunate there. Braxton gets in there and makes that play, but those are plays you learn from. It's hard to kind of simulate those type of things in practice, because that's a play where there's no question Hunter would have either, got that pitch off before or decided to keep it. That time Braxton tried to make a big play, but unfortunately just didn't work out.
This time Henson gets the pitch right, makes a nice juke move at the line of scrimmage, 35, 40, another spin move, bounces to the outside, breaks a tackle, 45, midfield, 45, and he's brought down at the 44-yard line for Ethan Henson. Davis Insurance 1st down as he picks up 26 hard-fought yards.
Ethan Henson, who is this guy right here, Tom? A sophomore, 5'7", 160 pound. We talked a little about him a few carries ago. He had a carry for 16 yards. That one, I don't even, what'd you say it went for?
26 yards.
26 yards. What a run by Ethan that time. Coming into this game, Ethan had carried the ball 7 times, 45 yards, 1 touchdown. Tonight he's carried it 2 times for 42 yards. What a game he's having.
And Williams gives to Cody Bertram, who's met at the line of scrimmage, then dives forward for a yard to the 43-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 9 upcoming. Could be the final play of the 3rd quarter as Braxton Williams goes over to the sideline to talk with Coach Ed Smart. Now he's going to he is going to wait, and that will be the final play of the quarter. The Cougars are going to go over and review their play. It's been good so far. They lead 40-0, so why don't you take the time to let State Farm agent Carter Harrell review your coverage to make sure you're protected. Call 259-6141. At the end of 3 quarters of play, as you maybe heard another cannon go off, it's Grayson County leading Barren County by a count of 40-0 on the home of 40-0 our score. Grayson County in front of Barren County as we get set to start the 4th quarter of play. Cougars wrecking the homecoming night festivities for Barren County here tonight. Braxton Williams in at quarterback, takes a snap, gives the toss to Dustin Crane. 40, 35, 30, 25, 20. He's going to score from 43 yards away. Dustin Crane. He's taken back a couple of interceptions for touchdowns this year. This time he carries it for 43 yards.
What a run. But we're just sitting there talking about the number of weapons this Grayson County program has offensively. Dustin Crane, what a run by him. 43 yards. And right now Barren County, they're continuing to keep their number one defense in there. So this isn't one of those situations.
Penalty marker is on the field.
Oh, you got to be kidding me, Tom.
Holding against Grayson County.
You know, and that's one of those calls. You know, obviously, I was watching Crane make moves down the field. You got to be frustrated if you're Dustin going back to that huddle. So I wouldn't be surprised the coaching staff, they're going to get him the ball here pretty quick to try to get something back and make up for that. But, you know, tough break, because you see those holding calls called so many times, Tom, that are irrelevant with what could have happened in the play. That one there, I know I kind of kept my eye on Crane as he ran through the line of scrimmage. That play call or that penalty had to be nowhere close to making an impact on the play.
Backs the Cougars back up to their own 46-yard line. Tuttle goes in motion this time and running the option with Braxton Williams. He's got room, midfield, 45. Juke move, 40-yard line and brought down there. 14-yard pickup for Braxton Williams on the second down and 20. And so it'll bring up a third down and 6 rather.
You know, a lot of people wonder, you know, how you really build a successful program, Tom. And I'll tell you, one of the kind of successful ingredients in Coach Smart's success over the past few years is doing exactly what he's doing now, getting players involved at the varsity level early. We're talking about a lot of these guys, Crane, you know, Ethan Henson, Braxton Williams at quarterback. These are all sophomores that are getting experience at varsity level. Is going to pay off huge dividends in the future.
Williams running the option again with Dustin Crane, and he cuts it under. Well defended that time by Barren County. 2-yard pickup down to the 37-yard line for Braxton. And they need the 34 for a first, so it's a 4th down and 3. I'm sure they'll go for it here. Score from Bowling Green. Warren Central now leads 44-0 over Warren East in the third quarter. Cougars will take on Warren Central on October 15th in Bowling Green.
Grayson County just one score away here, Tom, from hitting that 45-point plateau where we get the continuous running clock, of course, if the defense can continue to hold solid and maintain this shutout that they're throwing right now.
And look at this. Braxton Williams may have drawn Barren County off sides. They jumped, or it could have been a Cougar on this 4th and 3 play from the 37. We'll have to see what the penalty call here is. It is going to be the offside, so that 5-yard penalty is going to give the Cougars a first down. And Braxton Williams, the young sophomore, in there with a veteran-type move.
Yeah, you know, and got a lot of other young guys there in the backfield, though, and we've seen Barren County immediately, they jumped off sides. They tried to get back out of the neutral zone. They immediately started pointing fingers at the running back core. Of course, the running back there, Ethan Henson, was actually going in motion. So good job of execution by the offense there. As you said, Braxton Williams extending that cadence to get them off sides.
Crane takes the toss and gets to the 30, breaks the tackle, 25 before he's brought out of bounds. 7-yard pickup for Dustin Crane. That was the same play he took for a touchdown moments ago, but was called back due to penalty.
Dustin Crane, he just looks so strong out on the football field, Tom. You know, he's 5'10", 175 pounds, but he just when you watch him run with a football, he just seems so much more mature than a sophomore out there. Great job, great run that time by Dustin there. Really wasn't much there. Got to the outside, was able to bounce and shed a few tackles, but a great job nevertheless. So, you know, he's one of those running backs that's really going to be something special for this Cougar program.
Give him a gain of 6 as they spotted it at the 26-yard line. Williams up under center again. In motion, Tuttle going to the far side. The give to Ty Davis. No, Braxton Williams kept it and tossed it. Ball's on the ground. It's going to be recovered by Barren County as the referee took a spill there. Player into it.
You know, if there's anything, you know, as far as working on offensively, you know, that's probably one of the biggest weaknesses we've seen maybe out of you know, this young quarterback is those situations where do I keep the ball or do I toss it? You know, so many times, you know, in those situations, you should probably at that point, you know, just hang on to the football and go down with it. But the challenge is, Tom, when you're sitting over on the sideline and you're kind of watching the guy that's out there on the field in front of you, Hunter Gary, make such big plays at the last moment like we've seen that turns into huge touchdowns or big runs, you know. So you can't discredit Braxton for trying to make those big plays, but nevertheless, you know, it's something that you really start to learn, you know, instinctively with experience, and Braxton just hasn't been in there enough to really know when to keep it and when to throw it.
First turnover on the night for Grayson County. 1st and 10, Barren County, and give to the tailback coming through, and no gain. Actually, may have lost a yard on the play. It looks as if Chad Eaton, a freshman, has come in at quarterback for Barren County. They do lose the yards back to the 31, and we have a Grayson County timeout. We'll take it with them. 9:01 to go, fourth quarter. It's the Cougars rolling 40-0 over Barren County on the home of Cougar football, K105. 2nd down and 11. Barren County with the football at their own 36-yard line. 9 minutes and 1 second to play. Fourth quarter from Glasgow as the Grayson County Cougars about to go 5-0 on the season with a 40-0 lead. And here a screen pass to the right side by Eaton, and it's going to gain yardage up to the 35-yard line, pick up a 4. It'll be 3rd and 7.
Tom, and just like, Barren County now, what better time for them to start thinking about the future? Of course, this ball game kind of out of reach, for, from their standpoint. 8:39 left here, 40-point deficit they're facing, so they're getting a freshman in. I guess you would call this guy the fifth string. Yep. That sounds like some type of a fifth. That sounds like some kind of musical instrument or some kind of appetizer at Joe's Crab Shack. I'll take an order of those fish strings.
3rd and 7, Barren County from their own 35. It's Eaton rolling out, pressure coming, trying to get to the outside. Still looking, fires, has a man out at the 48-yard line. It is Bailey, Shelby Bailey on the catch, and it's a 12-yard pickup here for Barren County and a first down.
Well, somebody might be earning some playing time here, Tom. Right there, 17 yards passing the last 2 plays from scrimmage.
Cougars again at home next week for Clinton County. 7 o'clock kick, 6:30 airtime here on K105. Don't forget to stay tuned for tonight's 5th quarter show. We'll talk to Coach Ed Smart, have our McDonald's player of the game. Eaton under center. I formation. Toss to the tailback Furlong, and he's got to make that Bailey check that as he gets the 47-yard line. 6-yard pickup for Barren County. Ty Davis on the stop with Ethan Henson, and it'll be 2nd down and 4 for Barren County. Clock moving with 7:13 to play. 4th quarter.
Grayson County defensively, Tom, made a number of adjustments as it looked like they got an entire new crew in there as well, kind of going against this new offense that we're seeing from Barren County. So a lot of youngsters getting some playing time under these circumstances.
And Eaton rolling out the throw, looking, fires it, has a man at the 45-yard line, and tackled immediately, however, after a gain of just 1. So Eaton has come in and completed his last 3 passes. The young freshman getting some varsity time. Jason Esters, in his first season as Barren County head coach, has to like what he's seeing.
In terms of the future for sure here, Tom, because, you talk about, the inconsistency from a coaching staff this Barren County program has faced over the last few years. 6 coaches in 10 years. It's just really difficult to build a program, with that type of turnover and really gain the respect of your players.
3rd down and 3, Barren County. Eaton rolling out the pass, near side, pressure coming. Now he's going to tuck it and run, and he's going to try to bounce it to the outside, and it depends on the spot whether or not he has a first down.
Tackled by Cordell Cornwell there for Grayson County. He was able to get over there from the defensive back spot and knock quarterback Eaton out of bounds. Looks like it's going to be just a little bit shy there, Tom.
Yeah, Cornwell did a nice job of angling him off to the sideline. And they thought about maybe a measurement here, but it looks like they will not. It's 4th down and inches. Barren County will go for it. Ball's on the 42-yard line of Grayson County. Eaton and takes the snap to the tailback and to the fullback rather, and he's got room across the 40. And he's got a Barren County first down to the 37-yard line. Let's see where they spot it. It's always an adventure, seems like this crew here tonight. 36-yard line, so a pickup of 6 yards.
And the running back that time was Derek Gossett for Barren County, a sophomore in there getting some playing time. But good job defensively there. Nevertheless, they did allow him a first down, but playing pretty solid here with a lot of these young guys in there getting some playing time for the first time. We'll try to get some numbers, get some of these names out over the air. Some of these guys seeing some playing time for the first time all season.
And so Barren County set up deepest penetration tonight inside Cougar territory. 1st and 10 from their 36-yard line of the Cougars. And the snap, and we're going to have penalty flags come in. Not sure if that's going to be offensive or defensive, as the snap came out and a couple of offensive linemen were still in their stance, but we'll have to see what the call is here.
Yeah, that was a great job by Caleb Ashley getting through the line of scrimmage. Ashley, a sophomore, 5'10", 235, so he's going to be a thorn in a lot of offensive lineman sides in the future for this Cougar program. At 235, 5'10", a big guy he is up there on that line of scrimmage.
Another 5-yard penalty against Barren County for the false start, so that backs them up.
7 false starts so far. I'm going to say so far because we still got 5 minutes to go here, Tom, and it's unfortunate for Barren County's offense to be penalized that many times for something just so silly.
And another run here by Barren County is going to result in some pretty good yardage for the Trojans down to the 35-yard line. A pickup of 6 sets up a 2nd down and 9. Cougars will get yet another victory in district play here tonight. They have now, after tonight's game, be 3 straight victories against the Barren County Trojans. And the fumble this time as Eaton was going back to hand the ball off on a draw, and he lost control of the football, and it is going to be a loss back to the 38-yard line, loss of 3.
There's Dalton Loxton in there and Nick Haycraft, who finally just, once the ball was on the ground, just kind of stood over top of Eaton to make sure that he didn't pick it up and go anywhere with it. So once again, just kind of a poor handout, poor snap, and poor exchange there between the center and quarterback for Barren County.
40-0 our score with 4.5 minutes to play from Glasgow. It's been a picture-perfect evening for weather, and it has been a picture-perfect evening for Grayson County football. And again, some laundry on the field as the penalty flags come in. It's either going to be a false start or an offsides as we get an official tally here from the sideline, which is brought to you, sideline report brought to you by Ernie Perkins for PVA. How many false starts with that one is it? We apologize for a moment of technical difficulties here from Glasgow here tonight. Plays we missed was a sack from Grant Ackridge, sophomore linebacker for Grayson County. Dalton Logston then ripped off a 22-yard run, and the latest play was Braxton Williams running for 13 yards and a Davis Insurance first down. And we have 29 seconds to go in the ball game now with Grayson County leading 40-0. 24 seconds. May not have to actually run a play here. It looks like they will on one last one. The play clock will not expire before the game does, so the Cougars will probably take a knee here. We have a score in from the Bowling Green-Owensboro game. Bowling Green 23, Owensboro 20. Not sure if that's a final or not. Braxton Williams takes a knee, and this one's a final now. Grayson County 5-0. Another shutout, their 4th shutout in 5 games. They knock off Barren County by a final tally of 40-0 on the home of Cougar football, K105. Final score from Barren County High School tonight has the Cougars wrecking the homecoming night festivities of the Trojans. 40-0 the final score from Glasgow as the Cougars continue to be undefeated on the season and continue their defensive prowess as, again, they have the 4th shutout in 5 games, and the defense has yet to allow a point, as the only 2 points of the season put up against Grayson County was a safety last week at Todd County, I should say. We have a final of 40-0 here as the Cougars get 3 touchdown runs from Hunter Gary, 181 yards rushing. Jacob Pierce had a couple of touchdown runs, one of 19, one of 36 yards, and Sean Tuttle had the other touchdown for the Cougars tonight, a 38-yard touchdown reception. Our 5th quarter show is coming up next. We'll talk with head coach Ed Smart, name our McDonald's player of the game before we leave you with our coverage from Glasgow. Again, Grayson County 40, Barren County nothing on the home of Cougar football, K105.
This is the 5th quarter show on K105, featuring a conversation with Cougar head coach Ed Smart and the announcement of tonight's McDonald's player of the game. The 5th quarter show is brought to you in part by Midway Pharmacy, Auto Smart, and Farm Bureau Insurance. And now the 5th quarter show on K105.
Cougars win it by a score of 40-0. Now 5-0 in the season, 1-0 in district play. And we've got Coach Smart already joining us up here in the booth, so we'll go ahead and bring him in for our post-game chat with him, which is brought to you by Judge Shan Embry. And, Coach, always good to get victories, but when it's a district win, I know it's even more sweeter.
Well, it was a big win. It's a big game for us, a district game. And, Barren County, we first started playing them I guess about 5 or 6 years ago. The first 3 years they beat us, and last 3 years we really, I think, just shows where our program's kind of come, because the last 2 years we've just really dominated them, and especially up front. Just really proud of our defense up front. They just couldn't run the ball, and I know you got all the roster and everything. I mean, they're huge, and but our boys just have huge hearts, and I'm really proud of them.
The three linemen on their defense, Cody Yeager, Nick Haycraft, and Morgan Decker, it seems like night in, night out this year they have really wreaked havoc on the opposing offense.
I'm telling you, they're hard to block, and I mean they've got a motor to them, and that's what I talked about in the pregame was just your heart. Defense should never have a bad night, because it's all about effort and your heart. And those guys come out tonight. I mean, we threw out another shutout, and the truth is we're 5-0, and our defense hadn't given up at a point yet.
Coach, and I was going to say the same thing. 5-0. One of the first games, or going into the first game of the season, that's what we talked about was, hey, we're concerned on the defensive side of the ball. Pretty impressive 5 games.
Yeah, we still got a couple areas we need to work on. There were some things that got exposed tonight that we don't need to talk about on the radio. But there's some things as coaches we're going to have to work on. There were some things that they got us with, and some of it's scheme-wise, and some of it's personnel. We're going to have to work on some things. But again, I thought we played really hard, and one because a lot of turnovers tonight. We didn't cause a lot of turnovers, but we just got after them.
Coach, one of the things Tom and me were talking a little bit on the air, Hunter Gary, last 2 games, only carried the ball a couple of times. Really didn't need to. The running backs were stepping up big, and he had did a relatively great job the last few games throwing the football. But tonight, I don't know what to say about Hunter, but, closed in on.
That is just typical. I have Hunter in class, and, I just looked at him and said, I need you to have a big game tonight. And Hunter's smart enough to know that, we played some opponents that he didn't have to have a huge game and let everybody else kind of get involved and do okay. And, we got done last week with our stats. I think Hunter had like 4 carries, And so, I mean, he didn't have to do a lot. And then, Barren County just didn't have a lot. But I knew tonight that he was going to be pretty special. And, I mean, it just – I talked to a friend of mine before the game, and that's what he said. He said, listen, you got that senior quarterback. He knows what this means. He'll take care of things, and he was 100% right. He took care of things all right.
13 carries, 186 yards, closed in on 200 yards, almost rushing, threw for over 100 yards, couple touchdowns running the football, couple touchdowns throwing the football. There's no question, he had a big game tonight.
Well, I mean, last year he was the district player of the year, and, this is a district game, and, I know Coach Esters, when I talked to him before the game, he was like, I can't wait till that kid graduates. I'm like, man, I hope he never graduates. But so, he makes us look really smart. So it's not me, it's him.
And that's one of the things I think made the biggest difference in this ball game is we've talked about, what it means to have a 3-year starter quarterback. And then, facing Barren County tonight, they were in there at one point with their 5th string starter.
Yeah, they had some guys getting beat up and hurt. And I know that last week that number 10, that's the guy that was really going to start grooming as their quarterback. He's a junior and tore his MCL. And so number 4's in there, and then number 4's out. And, they had some different guys. And that's tough. Anytime in football, it's kind of like losing your point guard. If you're down to your 4th string point guard, that's kind of tough. And so, but, I mean, tonight Hunter was the best player on the field, and it showed.
What I think is impressive, too, Coach, is you've got different guys that make plays on both sides of the football. It's not just, Hunter makes big plays, but we mentioned the last couple of weeks he didn't have to.
Yes.
And you got Jacob Pierce has a, big game.
He had some really nice runs. He had some excellent runs tonight. A couple of those runs were really nice. I mean, I told my coaches at halftime, I was like, I need to get the ball to Pierce. I mean, I thought Jacob and Hunter tonight, skill-wise, were the 2 best skilled kids on the field. I didn't think Barren had anybody that could match up with them. Now, they got some big kids up front, but even then, our linemen, I thought, dominated.
And then you get a kid like Ethan Henson come in and rattle off the runs he did, and he just never would stop. He broke about 10 tackles on that 122-yard run.
You could keep going on and on, naming those players. Dustin Crane, he's one of the best run. He got called back. That's if there's anything negative, he's going to be upset.
He's going to feel sorry for somebody because they wasn't a hole. But anyways.
But, and that's one of the things that I think, Tom and me, I've always mentioned there's a big difference in rebuilding and reloading in a program. And I think one of the things that you do among the rest of your coaches so well is when you find an opportunity to utilize young players and get them involved. We were rattling off a lot of sophomores' names there, trying to get as many people's names announced over the radio as possible. But it got very difficult there at the end just because so many players getting in there, getting play time at that varsity experience.
It was. And I'll be honest, I give Coach Esters a lot of credit. He subbed his guys early, too. A lot of those guys don't, and so you're a little hesitant. And I got to be honest, my ego's getting in the way. I didn't want to give up any points. But he subbed his offense first, so that's why we were able to sub our defense. So, but I mean, you're right. It's one of those things you got to get those young guys some experience for the future because next year that's going to be our varsity team.
More with the coach coming up after this as the Cougars win tonight 40-0 over Barren County on the home of Cougar football, K105.
K105.
40-0 our final score tonight from Barren County High School as the Cougars improve to 5-0 on the season. Barren County falls to 1-4 as Coach Ed Smart continues to chat with us up here in the booth. It's time for our McDonald's Player of the Game. And, Coach, no question about it tonight, 186 yards rushing, I believe, over 100 yards passing, 3 rushing touchdowns, a passing touchdown. Hunter Gary, as we talked about a little bit earlier on, phenomenal here this evening.
He played pretty good tonight. He deserves it. Give a lot of credit to our offensive line and everything, but Hunter really came to play. And like I said before, he was without a doubt the best player on the field tonight. He deserves it.
Well, you got as you move on now, you move out of district for a game. This next several weeks, you play a district game, then you're out of a district, then you play a game. You got Clinton County next week. And then the big matchup with Bowling Green, and obviously with Clinton County, you've been down there the last couple of years and traveled down to the Smokies to play them, and got them coming in town. And I would think that, all things being equal, just to stay healthy and get that game.
Well, I mean, Clinton County's a game. It's homecoming, so let's try to stay focused about things. And I mean, the one thing so far with our kids I've been really pleased with is, they've come out focused when we really need them focused. And so I expect the same thing against Clinton County. It's a team that, the last couple of years we've handled pretty good. And they're huge. They got some kid that's 400 pounds. I don't know what it is. We're just, anyway. So, I mean, they got a long bus ride. But, you always got to kind of come up with things for kids like tonight. I told our kids after time, listen, I thought the first 5 minutes, second half was key. So let's do it. And, we get a 3 and out, and then we, bam, hit that big touchdown and just, bam, get another touchdown, and that was it. And so that's what I'm proud about is anytime I've really challenged our kids, they've risen to the occasion.
And 20 pretty experienced seniors helps that.
Listen, there's nothing like experience. There really isn't. I mean, that's the thing about they've been in some big games. They've played Barren before. They know what it needs to be done. And, I'm just really fortunate and blessed again to be coaching them.
Coach, what do you do for homecoming this week? You do anything special with your players or anything?
No, I'll tell you the only thing we've really done this different is we're not coming in Sunday to watch film. I think they need a weekend off. We're a little banged up and bruised, and so I told them Monday we'll probably just come in and watch this film, watch Clinton a little bit, walk through some stuff. It's getting that point of the year where you're halfway through where, if you're not in football shape now, you're never going to be. You know that, Sean, playing. And so I think it's more just trying to fine-tune some stuff and things we need to work on.
Tom, I'm looking down here at this statistics. 11 different players carried the football tonight for Grayson County. Graduated in 97, 18 players on the team. So this kind of goes to show, how far this program's came along. 11 different players carried the football out of the backfield.
Well, I've been really lucky. I mean, I'll tell you, Coach, the guy from Breck asked me, how long it took for us to get this kind of change. And it took us about 4 years. But Coach Gary has been a huge, huge factor at the middle school. I think, without a doubt, my experience in McLean County and here, the biggest difference is our middle school program, and it's what Coach Gary's done there. He's done a great job getting kids out. I got 20 seniors. Well, he's the one that got them out. I mean, he's the one that really encouraged them the whole time through, and they were coming up as freshmen, and he does that with every class. And so I really believe he is the biggest reason why we've had this success.
Well, Coach, we appreciate the time again tonight. Have a great week of practice, and we'll see you next
week. See y'all next Friday, homecoming.
Thanks a lot, Coach.
His team a winner here tonight in shutout fashion for the 4th time this year, 40-0 over the Barren County Trojans on the home of Cougar football, K105.
For the Twin Lakes, thanks for listening to K105.
40-0, the final score tonight from Glasgow as the Grayson County Cougars roll over the Barren County Trojans on their homecoming night. Homecoming a week away for the Grayson County Cougars. We're going to take our final time out of the evening and come back to wrap things up from Barren County High School. Again, the Cougars 5-0 after the victory here tonight. You're listening to Grayson County Cougar football presented by Judge Steve Corbessa on K105.
K105.
The Grayson County Cougars now 5-0 on the season after a 40-0 shutout of the Barren County Trojans tonight. Cougars now with 4 shutouts in 5 games have not yielded an offensive point to the opponent, on defense, they've not given up a point so far this year. The only 2 points coming on a safety last week at Todd County Central. And, Sean, another impressive victory here tonight, and the Cougar beat continues to march on as they really looking impressive so far this year.
Tom, it's just phenomenal to think, Grayson County so far has not given up a touchdown. So, with that being said, there's no question. We talked about the front line on the defensive line and the secondary, just how many elements this defense has that makes them so solid, and really it's been the defense that's kind of set the tone for this team. And keep talking about the times that Coach Smart kind of alluded to going into that first game how he was concerned, but we hadn't seen the first hiccup out of the defense so far this season, and obviously the offense, just a number of weapons. Of course, 11 different guys carrying the football. That says so much right there. So you got a lot of young guys that's stepping up huge and really filling those shoes that we wondered about going into this year. So it's definitely an exciting team to watch. So, if you got an opportunity to come out to next week's home contest against Clinton County, it's definitely
tonight's victory and the upcoming game with Clinton County next week. Bowling Green coming to Cougar Stadium in a couple of weeks, but the Cougars must take care of business next week against Clinton County. Again, the final score tonight, Grayson County 40, Barren County nothing. For Sean Locks and Tom Vitson saying so long from Glasgow.
The Fifth Quarter Show on K105 has been brought to you in part by Carter Harrell State Farm, Future Designs, Hunt's Classic Cleaners, and Dan Powers GM Center. Join us Saturday morning for the Coach's Corner live from McDonald's at 8:30 on the Twin Lakes Best Mix, K105.